is if Think have any other high agency plays or interactions that would enable them to outpace what Castle can do on the map, or if he goes into a farming jungler again.
I mean, that's fair. I do think like Bubster and Mark Booth are definitely very strong players. If they're able to get that gold, they will be able to snowball that game. Now, the thing about this is both ADCs are actually playing with off-role supports. Autumn Leaf, I believe, is a jungle main. Same with Kappa Gaming. So I'm very interested to see how that bot lane matchups, because we have two very solid AD carries with Opquid versus Bubster. And I generally think it's whoever's like support's gonna int harder is going to decide this matchup in the bot lane.
That can. Last night we actually saw where the bot laner, I want to say it was Yukino on the side of Team Chaos, because that ended up being I believe that was 0-3 Knight, but Yukino, I believe, was on the Nautilus, and there were several opportunities where they could have landed a hook to enable the AD carry that was playing the Smolder at the time. It's the little dragon boy showing up now. And it just meant that there just wasn't a lot of ability for them to really engage the bot lane, create some variance, create some fights, and really allow for Team Oasis to get ahead. So we can see where they may be able to feed their brains out like Captain Rex did last night, shout out. But we can also see where they're just ineffective, and that just means that the other team just gets to maintain control or maintain a neutral situation and go in the direction that they want to go.
Okay, like, obviously, I think Smolder pick's very strong. If you get to, like, I think it's 30 plus minutes, you start executing fools. I do see that Anyone Can Cook does respond with the Lucian. I'm kind of interested to see what they pick on that number 2. I'm assuming they're either going to pair with, like, Emilio Nami, or they'll pair with the Nautilus. I'm very, very excited to see that. I love seeing Nautilus. You either go in and shit happens, man.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, yeah. Action's the best way to go.
Now, like, let's while we wait for a think, let's take a look at these bans. Like, obviously, we have 2 jungle bans, obviously, like, aimed at Majinu. Very good player. Viego is obviously a target ban. What do you think about Think's bans so far? Because we are seeing, I think there was 3 potential jungle bans?
Potentially three jungle bans. Your Castle is their top of the rank player on the map, on the team right now. Actually, the top rated player in the whole league. So I keep looking to see if Castle's going to show up with any early game impact. And I believe the removal of the Lee Sin and maybe the Mbessa might help with that. But what I would still be expecting out of Castle would probably be another Graves play. I have not been able to actually check. If I can find them real quick. Anyone Can Cook. Games played, Castle. Do I have the right? So he's played 10 games, has had 6 wins so far, so has done pretty well for themselves. Let me see if I can actually get any other sites here inside. So nothing too straightforward and obvious if I'm looking at the website to see if there's any gives or any takes on them. What I would be more interested in is seeing if they're going to remove these 3 junglers away from Castle, what else is he going to try to pull out? Because the Xin Zhao is still up and available, a very powerful jungler that T-Von, my normal caster, would actually be a very big fan of, and we've seen what that can do on the Tier 1 stage. It just hasn't shown up here, and that feels like a lost opportunity that any one of these Tier 1 junglers should be able to pilot and really, make some impact on the map.
Now, we do see that Braum Renekton coming out from blue side. Obviously, Braum's really solid into the Lucian Nautilus lane, pretty like good at neutralizing it. Now, we do see that Renekton blind pick. I like it. I mean, I don't think saving Renekton pick for the second phase is all that great, because you're going to get counterpicked anyways, and Renekton overall is a safe blind. What do you think about that Olaf pick? I'm assuming is the top lane. It can go jungle, but...
I'm back and forth on it, because when you have Tier 3 players in this league, going into the solo lanes particularly, they end up picking their sort of comfort picks, because they are playing a little bit outside of what their range is in a regular MMR situation in solo queue. So the Renekton being blinded topside to secure Zimmy, just a comfortable pick that can kind of bruise, brawl, and potentially even have an advantageous situation against most matchups that may come into their hand. I kind of like it. The Olaf, I am assuming as well, is going topside, but if anyone watched Adam and them over in the LAC years ago, the Olaf can really outpace. Actually, was Adam, I forget if it was Adam or someone else, but either way, the Olaf can be a surprising solo laner that can really out-trade you, really out-sustain you, particularly when that Ravenous Hydra is added to their equipment. It can get really overwhelming.
Yeah, okay, we do see these 2 bans from Think are shutting Thaddeus out of his signature picks. Ari Lux, these are picks he's like always done well on. I'm expecting to see a Vagar from him, especially with a pretty mobile comp. There is the Castle Kindred. What do you think so far?
I think the Kindred is exactly what I would expect out of Castle for wanting to be a farming late game sort of jungler. Just maybe getting some pickoff kills from any sort of ganks or any delayed fights or skirmishes or things like that. This already confirms the Olaf is going to go topside. So Killa versus Zimmy, the Olaf versus Renekton respectively. It's going to be a toss-up of whether or not they want to stay neutral or if they're going to go all in. Last night we got to see Sovereign versus Captain Rex, and Captain Rex just got bodied so hard by Sovereign's Aatrox that it was terrifying, to say the least. The World Ender was on hand. But tonight, Majnu is picked out the Ivern against Castle's Kindred. I find this very suspicious and very interesting. I'm usually a very big fan of Ivern. I almost like caster support-like characters to just truly enable others if I'm not the one piloting. I'm very prepared myself to fill any role. So seeing this Ivern showing up, and I'm very curious if Majin is going to be able to utilize the just uniqueness of Ivern's kit and how he can go and invade and steal camps so easily. If this is going to be just a fantastic counter against Castle's Kindred, can Majnu step up for it?
Obviously, dude, I'm an Ivern lover. I play Ivern, Maokai. Those are my two champs. I love the trees. They're very much putting all of their eggs into that Smolder basket. It's very interesting to see. Like, they do have that Akali on the flank, but in terms of consistent team fight damage, all they really have is Smolder. Maybe if Renekton can get ahead, he can, like, come from a flank. But, like, they're expecting to go to that late game. I'm expecting to see, like, some sort of, like, Serpent's Fang from the side of Anyone Can Cook. I'm not
They're
sure.
definitely going to need it. They're definitely going to need it.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how this draft plays out. Like, obviously, my big emphasis is going to be on that bot lane. Like, yes, Castle and Majin are great players, but I'm personally very interested to see how Autumn Leaf and Kappa Gaming adapt to, like, they're obviously off-role junglers going to supports. So, like, I'm very interested to see how they adapt with Bubster and Opquid kind of shot-calling them.
Yeah. For sure. I will actually point out, I just got a quick check on this. Majnu this is the first time the Ivern's actually being played by Think as a team. So this is a unique pick for the team, and there is thereby no way to prepare for this pick by the side of Anyone Can Cook. So we are getting into a very simmering matchup here with Think versus Anyone Can Cook. The standings between these two teams right now, Think is at a 13-8, while Anyone Can Cook is sitting at 13-8 as well. This is a closer to the top of the barrel fight tonight. As we get into game one, we will see you on the Rift for the fireworks. Locked and loaded, Think versus Anyone Can Cook. Kappa is in the game, so at least one captain is on the field to help pilot his team to the victory. Interesting limitation. We actually missed the mid laners a little bit before we got through the draft here, Rev. But it was the Akali locked in for Mark Boots, and then Arthidis actually got himself the Lysandra. So an exceptional amount of engage on the side of Anyone Can Cook, while TRT rather lacking.
I mean, in my opinion, it's a very classic, like, engaged team fight or team fight for the side of Anyone Can Cook. I mean, they have that very solid 2v2 skirmish in the form of Kindred, Lysandra. We're going to be expecting to see some roams. I'm not sure how that's going to fare into the side of Majnu Mark Boots, especially since Majnu's, I believe this is, from what I was told, this is his first time playing Ivern. Maybe I'm wrong. But definitely, I'm very interested to see how that jungle matchups. We do see some poking out happening in the bot lane, but obviously, I'm very excited to see how, like, this game turns out.
Agreed. Yep. And Anyone Can Cook getting the initial push on the bot lane here. Going to probably scale into their level 2 early on. Our camera's going a little bit crazy as the trades occur. I don't believe Majnu is actually prepared for this as well as we might have hoped. Big trade out here. Autumn Leaf going really low here, sub 200 health. But back on the minimap, you'll see he marked it, but the Kindred is currently, Castle has taken, or is taking the blue buff. Majnu might be reading this. He's going to miss the hook, and now he's going to be jumped on right now. Barrier's going to be going out, but he's going to be forced to flash away here. Oh, he's still going all the way for it. Castle's going to be able to get the first blood. Mark Boot's going to try to get the counter, but I don't think he's going to have enough energy, and that's going to be free gold acquired. And now the top lane has kind of gone way on in the wrong direction here. Killa is about to be killed. Zimmy's has got to finish running him down. I think he's going to let him go away. Okay.
Yeah, obviously, like, Kendra's always going to look for that early invade. I do think Ivern maybe should have done an early ward in order to maybe spot it out. That way he can have his team rotate over. Like, we do see that the Renekton does have that prio. An early ward could have really changed that, like, early level 2 that Castle did onto the Ivern. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it is Ivern. Him being put back isn't as big of a deal as the Kindred getting ahead. I'm very interested to see how he's going to adapt to this. I mean, I did see he just stole the Castle's blue, but I'm not sure if that's going to make up for the fact he just lost his entire top side. I know as a jungle main myself, that hurts a lot.
Yeah, right now he's actually priming the Scuttle Crab. Autumn and Bubster going really heavy on the trade, but they've got the prio. This does give the advantage over to Majnu to at least mark and come back to that crab. Doesn't have his another round of smite yet, so because he had to use it to take that blue buff. And it looks like the mark is actually going to be collected there. Castle getting the luck of the draw for the mark spawning on the top side river. And we're going to go back to a pretty stable map state, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, we see, like, honestly, mid's gonna kind of... Sorry. Mid's going, like, kind of a nothing burger. We do see Ivern wrapping around for this early gank. The Nautilus ends up...
Oh, the gank's here? Oh, this might be a catch. Kappa Gaming has got his flash available, but I don't think he's going to use it in time. Too many stuns to lock him down. Second blood goes over to Bubster.
Honestly, a good play by Majnu. He obviously went down in that early level 2, so he was able to make up for it with coming around and getting that early kill on the Kappa Gaming, abusing their weak player. I'm very excited to see, happy to see that Bubster was the one that got the kill. Smolder snowballing is never a good sign, no matter, like, what champion you're playing. So, I'm very interested to see how he, like, kind of takes it from here. What are your thoughts on Kindred just invading this guy's top side yet again?
It's almost like we're actually running a split map situation, even though we're not doing any lane swaps, because this is going to be the second time that, as you said, he's taking over this top side. But this, if Majnu reads this in any way whatsoever, he should be going over and taking out more of the blue side jungle for Castle. But I'm not seeing that movement. The closest we've got right now is Autumn Leaf is like in the river, but is going to need to go into the jungle and put out some more wards just to try to spot this opportunity. And there's another
honestly, like, my bad.
Go ahead.
Castle's doing a fantastic job of showcasing the true difference in scale between a high Masters player and a Challenger player. We just see Killa just kill Zimmy for 0. What did I just see? That
was just a walk down right there. Zimmy not predicting how that trade was going to go as well as one might have preferred. So we're having a good little back and forth here, at least as it relates to the kills in this match right now. They know Kappa's in here. He's gonna be able to hook himself away. Right. But we're not seeing it. We're just seeing a little bit of a misplay. Now the CS slate is starting to blossom a little bit here. Castle 500 gold ahead of Majnu. But this is sort of where if you're gonna play a highly intricate champion like Ivern in the jungle, you better be able to actually match the relative jungling IQ of your opponent. And Castle has, from the beginning, been able to do very well on that. The root's going to land, and now Smolder's going to arrive here. Castle probably not prepared for this much pressure. He's going to be able to dodge the Frostbite. His mid lane is coming over to provide some help here, but Majnu has gone down. The rest of the junglers, the rest of the bot lane has arrived to actually help prevent this from falling apart, but there's only 2 kills actually being traded off right now. We're at 2 for 2, 2 for 3. Mark Boots might want to figure out how to get out of here, but I don't think he's going to be able to run much further away. They can't catch him. Okay. So that was an extended trade.
It was a very good trade for the side of Anyone Can Cook. Bot lane wrapping around into, honestly, Bubster and Autumn Leaf. Really well done. They were able to kill Ivern, and then the Ivern, Braum, and the Smolder effectively. Like, yeah, Smolder did get a kill, but, I mean, Upquid does have that shutdown now, and he is up. Oh, are we going to see another kill from the Kindred?
Nope, just asserting his dominance in that river. Not much to get. Just, I think both junglers both thinking about if they were going to be able to sneak or at least get started on that first Drake.
I mean, Thinkraft definitely does have the priority in order to go for that dragon if they would want to. Whether or not it's a good play, in my opinion, I don't think so. I think that as of right now, they are pretty far behind. I mean, it's only 900 gold, but it's 900 gold on the two last people you want to have that like extra gold. Majinu's pretty far behind. He does have that Dark Seal at one stack, but like other than that, we see that Kindred has the Sheen. She has I can't even think of the name of that other item. And Opquid is currently 2-0 with Sheen and Caulfield's.
Caulfield's Warhammer. Yep.
Yeah.
A little bit of a tussle here. Oh, big damage going out here. Mom's going to come in to try to help, but the damage isn't really that high because the stacks aren't there. The counter trade evens it out. Bubster a little worse for wear than his counterpart. So you might land the hook. That doesn't mean you're going to get what you want out of it, especially if that Unbreakable shows up and blocks most of Lucian's damage.
I mean, this is a very aggressive bot lane from what I've been seeing. I was expecting like Smolder Braum to kind of just play back, stack today, like stack infinitely, and then kind of just play for that long game. Bubster's kind of surprised me, like just showing like he's willing to fight this Lucian, even though Lucian in theory is the stronger early game champion.
Yeah, this is kind of where I believe there'd be a bit of a critique on the... Oh, another round, but the Unbreakable's going to come in here. It's kind of pointing the wrong way. Autumn Leaf, the damage is going to come from the Lucian, not from the Nautilus. Put the door towards where the danger is, my friend. No, but Bubster and them have been entirely prepared for the counter punches and understanding that if this Lucian was actually probably better paired with an enchanter like a Nami or like a Milio, this might actually be going a lot less in their favor. Because the Braum would just not be able to do much. A little bit. Don't take the bait. Good stuff, Kappa. Good stuff.
I mean, believe it or not, like Kindred's kind of snowballing this game pretty hard. She already has, I mean, minimum 4 stacks because her current marks on that red buff. We see the Iron pop Daisy in order to kind of peel for his Akali, but
there's not much else to really go with this here. The Daisy's kind of getting spawned for no clear good reason right now. Maybe looking for an opportunity, but Mark Boots was already at half health, and there was no other follow-up to really enable that play. River Control now reacquired by Anyone Can Cook. This might be what triggers... Nope. So no one's getting the first Drake yet.
Honestly, I'm interested to see where we go from here. I mean, both mid laners are trading health pretty effectively. We might see a 2v2 skirmish happen really soon. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Castle goes for these grubs up top side. I mean, he's already clearing up there. And, I mean, Olaf is, like, dropping
this is the scary part. Yep.
Yeah, he's ego-checking this Renekton, and it's going wonderfully for him. He has yet to use any sums, and if Renekton wants to, like, ever push up the hit wave, I believe he just gets ran down by that Olaf.
Yeah, well, if I was his Olaf right now, I'd be trying to freeze that wave right before my turn and just... You got Ghost and Flash. You're ready to run this Renekton down, make a pair of boots for Grandma.
We do see Kindred on the grubs. Ivern trading for drag. What are your thoughts on the trading of the objectives here? I do personally think that dragon stacking for the side of Ivern Smolder is infinitely better than grubs, especially since they have a scaling comp. But maybe they just didn't want to risk going for it and coin flipping the game there.
I would agree with the entire idea there. The scaling advantage is on the side of TRT. They have the Ivern, they have the Smolder, and Smolder is kind of an auto-win champion. We've seen it in several games on the stream side here of this league, where if Smolder can get 2 or 3 rotations of his Fire Breath inside of a fight, it will just ruin a team. And a little bit of mispositioning here. Good counter ult there from Autumn Leaf to try to save their AD carry, but it's not going to be enough. Bubs is going to be able to get 1 kill, gets a second. That's the kind of potency and power we were looking for. It might have been the Essence Reaver to trigger the opportunity there, but Kappa with the keen eye notices the mispositioning of Bubster ahead instead of behind his support, and it cost them both their lives.
Honestly, I mean, I understand that he's currently 0-2-2. I do think Autumn Leaf is actually playing this pretty well considering what I was expecting. That counter ult was really good despite, the outcome overall. I do think his positioning could use a little bit more work, but of course, I'm only a gold player, so I could be wrong. Honestly, I'm not surprised to see Opquid or Lucian Nautilus be taking this early lead. They're just a very aggressive bot lane, and as you said earlier, if this were Lucian Milio or Lucian Nami, this lead would be in my opinion, even stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But Obviously, they kind of needed that go button in the form of Nautilus, so I don't like blame them for not going that.
Oh, a bit of trouble here. The Tomb is going to wrap them up. Majnu is going to be exploded. Kill secured by Arthritis. And we're going to have another fight here. Top side, bot side. I'm sorry. Leaf cut in half, but so was Kappa Gaming. And now Bubster kind of going forward here. Cannot get the connection. The stun is almost there. There's the proc, and there's the shutdown gold acquired here. Dragon becoming more and more online. One more rotation of spells or auto attacks. Double kill collected by Bubster. We're fighting.
I'm gonna say right now, I respect the massive balls on Bubster to flush forward into the Nautilus Lucian. It's the plays I love seeing in these type of games. Absolute bloodbaths. Honestly, this game is going to come down to, can the Smolder kill the Kindred? That's especially with the comp like Ivern, like Braum. I'm very interested to see how the Kindred is going to adapt.
Oh, this is a very aggressive, very optimistic move here by Mark Boots, but he's kind of baiting them in. The Ivern is available, but I don't know if they've got the... Oh, the Invincible has been acquired. Execution, perfect in fact. And now Kindred, sorry, you're going to get destroyed. Flashing back in, Mark Boots secures the kill with that empowered auto attack. That was, I swore that was nothing but bait from Mark Boots, but he calculates it perfectly, and they have what it takes between Daisy, Ivern, and the Sakali to take out the mid lane jungle. That is synergy, that is coordination. That's what I really like to see actually out of this league. Sometimes there are plays that you can see the idea, but the synchronicity of at least the teammates and where they are on the map and how soon they're going to be there is off by just enough that the play falls apart and people end up either feeding or wasting time. And so that was a fantastic thing to see right there.
Yeah, honestly, it was a good job. I think they were down almost 2K, and yeah, it's only a 700 gold deficit right now. It's definitely in the realm of being able to turn up. So we do see the Braum will come out in order to counteract the Nautilus.
Mom coming out as well. Oh, but the Lissandra has arrived, and they're going to be able to put this dragon into an icy tomb. He's going to go down. Bubster in the can. Autumn Leaf now with another rotation here. 4 down here. They're trying to give over the kill to Castle. Alrighty. Here just in time with a little kill steal. The rest of think not really with another opportunity for any cross-map play here. Majnu trying to secure his red buff, I believe. He's going to get spotted. There's not another major objective. Mark Boots sitting in mid lane, getting into the bush, trying to figure out what he can do, if anything. But that looks like just a very clean execution, a very clean rotation from anyone can cook. They don't waste Castle's time roaming all the way to the bot side of the map. They feed him over another kill, their other AD carry. So good coordination, not any good counterplay done from Think. And that's a little unfortunate.
Yeah, it was a beautiful 4-man bot. Like, it's a classic. We just shut down that Smolder, shut down the Braum. Honestly, I'm very interested to see how Think is gonna go from here. They are now down 2K. It's not a very easy spot to come back from, especially considering the skill level of these players.
It's another roll. We're getting in here. Unbreakable not available. This Braum's going to go down. Protect your ADC at all costs, but might have spent that Unbreakable a little bit too early, and I don't even know why they were going that far up into the river.
Yeah, maybe there was just a miscommunication with like where jungle was. Maybe they thought she'd be bot side considering that we have Herald coming up. But they did go up a bit too far. We do see the Ivern coming in to gank this Olaf.
They are, but this Olaf is going to be unstoppable. It might actually try to kill the Renekton. He's going to try to get on. He's going to try to kill the Ivern, but that's going to be a shutdown gold. Going over to the Ivern, not the best person to put the gold in the pocket of. They're going to have to play the cross map and grab the Herald while anyone can cook are grabbing the second Drake for the map. So Drake score even, but the next very positive play that can be done is going to be on the side of TRT with the Herald in hand. Castle bullying this bot lane. Might actually end up regretting it. There comes the ultimate down here. Oh, big knock up. Trying to get some distance. Gonna be able to actually eat the knock up and not get any more damage put onto them. They're currently weathering this dive as best as they can here. Big damage coming out here. One more roll, and that's gonna be a traded kill. And now the teleport in from the Akali is gonna be able to make the connection here. Perfect execution. Going to be able to get themselves just in this line, but the exhaust is going to prevent or at least delay the kill, and now the Entomb has come through. Mark Boots is going to be fed on over. Another kill going into Castle's pocket.
You absolutely hate to see it. I genuinely thought that like Smolder Braum could turn it around until the Akali was able to TP in. But like the roams from Arthidius have been pretty lethal this game. Able to collect his team. I believe it was 2 double kills each time he roamed down. Like yes, Mark Boots is getting kills on like top lane. He's getting kills like in the red side jungle of Anyone Can Cook. But Arthritis with these roams is getting his team ahead. Like Castle and Lucian, these are the threats you want to like be worrying about in this late game, and they're both 5-2. So it's gonna be a bit of a really hard for Think to be able to come back from this state. Now they are able to get that kill topside, which is fantastic for them, able to mirror the map a little bit. We do see a little Kindred in a bush.
Yeah, Zimmy, you're about to be have your time ruined here. Doesn't even have the ultimate available. Use that to actually take care of getting the kill on to kill us. So we're, again, another kill. This is actually a very proactive game we're seeing out of Castle, and I do appreciate it. This is only the second game I've casted of the gentleman in this league. And another roam. I do love the proactivity. Misses the shuriken toss, but does get the rest. This is probably one of the most constrained and focused, like Death Brush style games I have casted in this league so far. Usually there's a lot of wild skirmishing and things like that, and there's felt a little bit of that so far in this game, but it's been a lot of just, it feels like vision plays, identifying opportunities, playing into them. And that hook feels a little bit optimistic. Oh, that's because the Lissandra has arrived, catches Braum in the middle of his Glacial Fissure. There's going to be the CC lockdown on the Bubster, but no one really follows up on any of the damage. Feels like a little bit of a loss opportunity here. Trying to get the root. It's going to try to flash forward. It's going to get a little bit more. Barrier comes out to keep Bubster alive. But Castle is really on the money here. Every time he gets just below the lethal, just near lethal, he knocks up. Oh, and the culling is going to be able to secure it. And Arthidius just flashing in there to secure with the Ring Frost. Not sure if that was entirely necessary. Might need that later.
It might not be necessary. It definitely looked cool as fuck. Now, I'm going to say it. Castle is at 8 stacks. Yeah, we do have Smolder scaling. Is there any way that we can check to see how many stacks he currently...
when he's alive in 15, we will. It was about 200 some odd earlier, which would put him almost really ahead of schedule, or between ahead and on schedule. About 225 between 20 and 23 minutes would be a pretty optimal. So this Smolder is on schedule to be a win condition, to be an absolute problem. Yeah, 213, so 2-3 more waves at most, and this Smolder will be able to apply that burn and have that execution.
Honestly, I'm not surprised with the amount of brawling that's happened this game. I'm very interested to see how he's going to plan to deal with Castle. Like, Castle has that, like, Death and Volt ultimate. He's going to have to go through our Lissandra Glacial Prison. He's going to have to go through Depth Charge in order to play this game. I'm very interested to see if Bubster is up to that challenge. Like, he's a very good player. I don't doubt he is. I do think that Anyone Can Cook has the tools to effectively deal with him, but who knows? Maybe the Braum is going to be the GOATs and perfectly shield him from everything. I'm very interested to see.
I love the Overwatch reference there, Rev. That's a fantastic call out. Autumn Leaf, this is not where you want to be. Unbreakable is up here, but there's too much CC to really help you. Does survive long enough. That shield is massive, actually. Daisy's in the ring, and so is the Akali. Arthritis goes golden here. Cap is going to go down here, but you're just going to be caught in the middle of a death squad, and you will be executed. That is a nice little attempt here, but Autumn Leaf has started getting tanky enough. That Unbreakable has enough skill points in that you cannot actually kill this Braum without Castle, really, I imagine, there to really shut him down and put down the damage. This is going to be a chain link. That's actually the quickest amount of damage sequence I've seen from turret 1 to turret 2 here. That's a fun little play there from TRT. They're going to be able to get this second turret down to half health. They might be able to actually get more. The rest of Anyone Can Cook isn't really moving. And no one's moving towards this.
Thing's doing a fantastic job. I'm not even kidding. Before that fight where Braum masterfully baited the entire team of Anyone Can Cook, they were down. I think it was like almost 1,000 to 2,000. Now we do see Kindred and Olaf just doing Baron.
They got it.
Yeah, I mean, second drag is definitely like a good objective for them to get. I'm not sure if it's worth trading Baron. I do think that we should have established some vision on that top side of the map, but like I don't blame them. I'm not expecting Kindred Olaf to just solo Baron at 21 minutes.
No, so, that's some T1 stuff right there. Just sneaking Baron at 21 minutes is kind of ludicrous, to say the least. And I can be with you on like the trade of dragon versus the options and how that delays or allows this game to go longer. But that gold injection, as well as just the wave push, might at least give anyone can cook a lot more control over the rest of the map if they can hold so much of the map. Because the next dragon's not coming up till well after the Baron, and I imagine the reset on the map may just neutralize what advantage this gives them, because the gold's still even, really. There's no great advantage, even the jungle side, and we were talking, you mentioned this earlier. Yeah, Bubster is the top side of the gold. Just got his third item. This Smolder is more than online, but the Ivern might be 1.3k down from Castle, but it should be more than that based on a 20 CS lead and a 4 kill difference. But this Ivern isn't about damage output. Most of his utility is coming through his item set and the excess value that comes from support items for their low cost. So you could almost argue the gold difference is negligible in the jungle, especially if the shields can rotate off and that extra character on the field with Daisy to provide so much disruption and really provide more peel for this Smolder.
Yeah, like as you said, like Ivern is very much a champion that like he revolves around his around the fact that he has relatively cheap items. That combined with the fact that it's a really good matchup into Castle. Majinu's playing this matchup really well. He's always there at least for a counter game. It might not always go well, like he might always like sometimes his teams might die, but he's generally there when he needs to be in order to counteract this Castle. Even with the fact that like that early like mess up where he's dying to Castle level 1 on his blue buff, like he's done a really good job of coming back into this game. He has 9 stacks on the Dark Seal. He is an entire half item up on Castle. And he's like only a level down. Considering that the way this game started, I'm very surprised to see that he's able to make such a good comeback. It's obviously with the help of his team. I'm very excited to see how Think moves forward, especially with 2 drags to their name and another one coming up in, I believe, 3 minutes.
Yeah, right now it looks like they're all posturing for some topside invade or some sort of overreach on the side of Think, but TRT keeping the discipline. They're not overreaching too far. Autumn Leaf is not getting themselves into any too precarious positions. They're entirely okay giving up the top side of the map because the Baron's already gone. 28 seconds left. They've gotten quote-unquote map control, but anyone can cook aren't really doing anything with it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really a whole lot they can do for another 2 minutes. I mean, they can take a fight, but what are they fighting for? Like, drags out for 2 minutes. You have Baron in 3. I do think that Baron is going slightly to waste here. We're not seeing waves be pushed up, but it's kind of dangerous for them to push up. So I'm wanting to see how they, like, what they do in order to kind of break parity here. Because right now they got Baron at 21 minutes. I don't think they've done a single thing with it. I think everything's done a good job of kind of like pushing out the waves in response because they do have solid wave clear in the form of that Smolder. So it's just it's kind of a shame that like anyone can cook just got a free Baron and nothing to do with it.
Yeah, no great advantage acquired. No turrets really dropped. It's just 3 turrets for 3 turrets. So it's a neutral game, and that's kind of not what you want. Yes, the Kindred is a massive scaler. That attack range really scaling up. The bonus item slot, I believe, may come in for Arthidius, or might it be actually for the AD carry, my bad. But it's just this Smolder, unless Bubster is popped at the beginning of the fight by an Arthidius and like Killa diving in, like and this is discussing it in like a full 5v5. The top laners have been entirely isolated. Killa has not roamed for anything to express what advantage that they did have earlier on, and Zimmy has just held his ground and hasn't really thrown any more of his lives away.
Yeah, we do see that Dragon's coming up in about 40 seconds. Vision's starting to be set up. We see that both teams are seemingly wanting to play around that bot side. Renekton is going to the top in order to hit that top wave. I'm not sure if I can see if he doesn't have TP up, so I'm wondering if he's going to hit that top wave and then just play down. Oh,
they're going to try to jump on him right now here. He needs to pop that Dominus. He needs to pop it earlier, but they're going to be able to get the kill. 17 seconds. I don't know if they're going to try to trade... Are they going to try to trade turret for the dragon? I think they're going to try to make their way over. Think they need to try to posture for it, but this might be too awkward of a timing for them to assert themselves into the river and have a chance to contest.
I mean, honestly, it's very hard for them to contest. Like Kindred has more than enough time. We have Olaf, who's now starting to join these team fights. He has Ghost, he has Flash, and yes, he is only 1 and 2. He's also level 15. I do think he can, like, if he wants to, he can just run at the Smolder and just kind of kill him. And there's not, like, Smolder can't deal with both him, Castle, and Opquid. So it's very, it's going to be very hard for him to actually deal with all three. We do see Arthidius looking to, like, move in and see if he can get a pick, especially with his team backing him up. Honestly, when you first saw this draft, is this how you, like, imagined it panning out? Like, anyone can cook. Like, obviously, they have the point. Like, they're up in points. They might have drafted a tad bit better. Like, what are your thoughts on how this game's turning out as opposed to, like, when we first started this stream today?
Well, based on the point value, I would have expected a far bigger blowout. But at this point, this is actually, I said it earlier, this is such a disciplined game so far. There's so much parity in terms of just how the teams have been interacting so far. We might actually have a breaking point. Ring Frost? Nope. So I'm really appreciating just how this has gone. Yes, anyone can cook have grabbed some advantages. They've evened up the dragon score. The gold advantage is primarily in the pocket of Castle, and that's great and all, but he's got to be able to get his auto attacks off to make anything of it, and they just have not. We've not seen a full 5v5 team fight yet, and nor has there been really a lot of skirmishing. We've been just a lot of posturing for the past 10-15 minutes, I want to say. The last big fight we had, I believe, was that bot lane exchange. And so both teams are we're playing for like that 30-35 minute one big team fight decides the game situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be that team fight's definitely going to be focused on both Castle and Bubster. Castle's at 11 Kindred stacks. Bubster's at just hit 350. We do see Castle coming around to 4 play. I'm wondering if he's able to catch up to this Akali.
Camilla dash, flash is used. Mark Boots might want to actually start doing something here. He's going to get the perfect execution in. He's going to go golden. He's going to try to get some other level off. He's going to try to use it to escape here. No one's roaming to try to help them. And TRT, I think they're going to try to trade Baron for this. I like this move here. All on. Bubster trying to actually play for Peel, but they're going to try to move. The teleports come on in. Might be in a place that you don't want to be. The Culling's going to come through. Mom's going to be able to catch. Oh, the burn is being acquired. And it's going to be able to actually be timed out here. Daisy following over the wall. The knockup's going to hit, but can they actually get on top of him? And hey, Bubster's going to be popped here. There's not much else to really be done. That's a full ace team wipe here. Arthidius sacrificing himself for the rest of anyone can cook to come in and, in fact, cook in that fight. So this is the fight bot side. Go ahead.
Honestly, it was an amazing TP by Arthidius, going in for that TP in order to flank the Smolder, who's in a very dicey position due to the Olaf threatening him. Honestly, this was a well-done fight by everyone from Anyone Can Cook. Lissandra, like, going golden right as he's able to pop that Glacial Prison on the Smolder. His team able to buy enough time for the Kindred to come in and kind of just one-shot everyone. Like, if you see this fight, it's just Kindred's, like, going insane as Olaf's just free-hitting. I'm kind of surprised that they don't just end the game there, but, like, I'm also kind of low elo, so I think I would have just over-pushed and then died. So
you might have. I got very used. I used to watch a lot of I Will Dominate's like kind of videos, his YouTube videos were just condensed his stream, and I swear LPL would just have a fight like that and immediately just push the end because they just understand how to do that. So I've had that moment plenty throughout casting this league in the first 4 weeks. But that might be the actual fight that blows up this whole situation. I think Think just didn't get the 5v5 team fight that they wanted. They didn't have the damage to pop a Baron. Bubster on this Smolder may be a big win condition even now for Think, but it's not actually consistent damage to take down a Baron.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, if you're looking at it from the side of Think, they're in a very, like, precarious situation. It's a 5k down, and yes, they have the wave clear in the form of Smolder, who can kind of just wave clear these Baron minions for days. Anyone Can Cook has the go buttons necessary to kind of just get on them. Like, they have the depth charge from Nautilus, they have the Glacial Prison from Lissandra. Especially with Smolder having no flash and burning it last fights, I think the next fights that they take and lose is the fight that's, like, deciding the game.
I think this is actually where they're going to start indexing their opportunities here because they have all of the necessary skills and damage available to take out Autumn Leaf, and it's going to be another turret. Daisy goes forward but dies too quickly. Okay.
Yeah, very interesting positioning from Autumn Leaf. Obviously, he couldn't have predicted that, Kappa Gaming was going to land, like, the hook into the true combo of getting Kindred hit and Lucian ulted. But, like, are we going to see this Ivern try to 1v1 Lissandra? I'm down for it.
This feels so silly. The Akali was in the wings, but, yeah, Smolder's going to have to actually give up on this tier 2.
Yeah, we see anyone can cook just pushing for that inhib tower, trying to get that map pressure. That way they can just take over more than they have already. 7K up. I don't see like right now. Think of things having to play for.
Oh, that's a good route here right now. The Lucian's going to be in a bit of trouble here. He's going to get hit with one round of the burn here. Shutdown gold acquired by the Smolder. It's going to be a second one. Mark Boots collects that one a little bit too far. Perfect execution trying to close the gap. The 3-strike is going to get the slow. Still has his Ragnarok available, no summoner spell, so Olaf's going to try to just get some counter kills, but now it's Dragon time. Dragon time.
You know what? These teams have a fantastic habit of making me eat my words. As I was just saying that Thinkref thinks going to have a hard time coming back into this game, they proved me wrong by getting, I believe it was 3 different kills into a dragon. I am shocked, truly. Fantastic plays from the side of Think. They are going to secure that dragon. Oh, it's actually just Dragon Soul, Cloud Soul. And this game has kind of, it's not a full momentum swing, but they've definitely stopped that pendulum that was moving in the favor of anyone can cook. I'm very happy to see that they were able to, make the game a bit more interesting. I don't want this game to end at 30 minutes. I want a 50-minute banger, okay?
Oh my goodness, you're bringing me back to complexity black days in LCS. 80 minutes the dream. I hope we don't do that. We've usually ended at 11 p.m. Eastern most nights in this league, and I appreciate that for a myriad of reasons, primarily my sleep.
Oh no, I feel you. I got work in the morning at 7 a.m. I'm down to stay here till midnight in order to cast these games, because these teams are very fun to watch. Very bloodthirsty, very proactive teams. Castle showing us why he's the best jungler in the league on this Kindred. Bubba's doing a fantastic job of, he's been in some hard fights. He's maintained that lead. It's not a big lead, but he's 340 CS. He's 9-6. He has 400 stacks. I fear that if Bubster's allowed to continue to play the game for the next 10 minutes, he's just going to be able to one-shot the Kindred, the Lissandra, the Lucian. So I don't think it's going to be a 50-minute game. Oh,
yeah, but this Ivan's going to be two-shotted. He's going to try to get a little bit of healing onto him. And the jump forward, there's a route put on, but there's not much to be done. I'm not sure if you want to be here, Smolder. Fly away there.
That might have been the pick needed in order to decide this game, as we see. Anyone can cook starting to kind of group up on that mid in order to push down. We do see a brief skirmish in the top lane with Lissandra via Kali.
Yeah, Mark's trying to get a counter kill here to try to equalize and not allow for anyone can cook to press their advantage now that the jungler is down, and that's a big part of their team fight. Oh, Kindred stepping forward here. That's going to be a way too much there. Mom's going to come down as well. The heal will pull through. No one dies on the side of anyone can cook, but I might be about to eat my words. Oh, I forgot who that is. The Lucian steps 1 step 2 forward. Oh, it is just Upquid. Okay.
Upquid, that was okay. Okay. If Upquid, if you see this later, I know you can play better than that, bud. But still, a fantastic try. Honestly, Bubster is becoming a problem. If you look at the replay, he almost two-shot the Kindred. If Kindred doesn't have ults or a way to just prevent herself from just insta-dying to the Smolder, I do believe that we're starting to approach the close of the game. Thinkref thing's 6k down. I think we're getting to the point of the game where being 6k down doesn't really matter all that much. Your carries are going to be full items. There's only so much tanky you can get into the Smolder and Kindred. So I'm very interested to see how this game closes out. I do predict it's going to close out in the next 5 or so minutes, though.
Oh yeah, one team fight can actually switch this entire situation up. Baron is up and available. The Renekton is back on the field, but both summoners are not available to Bubster right now, which might just compromise their entire ability to contest this Baron. I think they're going to be okay turtling. I really think Thinkref are going to let this Baron go. They're going to keep their sideways pushed enough, and they're just going to turtle until they get themselves to a major fight where Bubster can just lay down the fire and hopefully win a fight.
We see anyone can cook kind of laying in the shadows like a sneaky little villain waiting for them to walk up. I am happy to see Thinkref not taking the bait. I may have spoken too soon. Brahms walking up to make a vision.
They're trying to do that. Mom's going to come in and provide some initial damage. There's a teleport on top of them. They've got to be able to turn and deal with this, and that's going to be in. Lissandra going to try to run away, trying to catch him with the Achu. Oh, this is not exactly where you want to be, but everything will follow you. He's going to use the tome to try to survive, but that's going to be 2 down. Baron has been taken, has been secured, but they're going to start with a negative gold deficit. So, worth?
Yeah, we do see that dragon. Dragon's coming up in 40 seconds. I must have misread something earlier because this is soul point for Thinker of Think, and anyone can cook is down 2 members. Lysandra is locking that teleport. Kappa Gaming is going to be on the map in time for this, but side of anyone can cook is going to lack that crucial vision that a dragon soul fight like this is kind of going to need. So I'm kind of interested.
Kindred's about to get found. I'm seeing if they're going to run into him bot side. The Akali and the Ivern are trying to actually assert themselves through anyone can cook's jungle. And that bush is going to be able to reveal at least that ward. But Castle, he's trying to play sneaky right now. You can see him on our mini-map. He's moving through the alcove, moving through the bot lane. Dragon's going to be started. I don't think there's going to be much else to be done here. So that'll be Cloud Soul acquired. And they're still trying some sideway pressure here.
Honestly, I was like a great move from Killa to try and get that, at least that like inhib tower. You're not gonna be able to take that drag fight anyways. So we do see Ivern might be caught out here. He's sandwiched
incredibly
between
caught out right now. He's gonna be blown up immediately, and that's gonna be a dead tree man. Castle is legendary.
Holy shit! Called Castle Lumberjack the way he's cutting Ivern down. Oh my lord. We do see the Lucian will come down in order to try and chunk out Bubster.
It's going to be one hit down. Good.
I do think this game's going to be ending very soon. Ivern's down for the next 30 seconds.
That's the tag. That's what you want. Oh, that's the knock-up onto the Kindred here. They're going to actually lock him up here, but Bubster's not actually shooting at him. He's hitting the other parts of the front line. Castle's going to be able to survive this. No one else dies. Oh, I spoke too soon here. Nautilus goes down. Akali's trying to hide in her smoke, but will be found, will be taken out. The cavalry will arrive here. That Nexus turret can fall. It's okay. It will come back. And the pressure just keeps mounting. This is a hammer anvil combo here by anyone can cook. They've gotten, I believe that's all 3 inhibitors down.
Yeah, it does put Thinker of Think into a pretty dire situation. We have Baron up in 3 minutes. I don't think that unless they move forward the game end, I don't think Thinker of Think can get anything super crucial off of this. Baron's up in 3 minutes. We have Elder in 4:30. Now it does kind of force Thinker of Think into their base, because if they leave, I mean, they can anyone can cook can look for that end, but I mean, I think this is where Smolder wants to be. I mean, he's free stacking on 3 different cannon or super minion waves. I mean, yeah, I mean, Castle can get that jungle, but like he can't receive any more like of his passive stacks off of the normal jungle camps. So as long as Thinker of Think's able to just turtle here and like have Smolder farm up, this is still like a winnable game for them.
Yeah, it's just one little misstep here. That sequence of CCs that was applied to Castle should have been actually his death sentence, but Bubster just either wasn't paying attention, just didn't step forward to capitalize on that, and that's exactly the sequence that you want. But now, a little bit on the back foot, a little bit of damage been laid out. Calling was spent by Opquid. And see that burn. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The pain's going to start coming down here. He's approaching 550 stacks on this Smolder. This is do or die time. The inhibitor, the Nexus turret has not arrived here. And now the Akali's gone in, has marked the Kindred, has gone back in perfect execution out to try to buy some space and create some up sequence. The Mom gets called in, hits no one. That's a nice chunk there from the burn. Flash through. They're not going to be able to catch anything. Oh, no stun. That flash might have been wasted by the Renekton. Now the Lucian's going to be able to take down Daisy, but that will at least push anyone can cook back for the time being. That's another Nexus turret down. Nexus is exposed, and teleport's available for Arthidius and for the Soloff if they can sneak a ward in. Ooh, there's one. There's one ward right there by their top wall, by the mid wave.
Yeah, honestly, I'm very excited to see how this game ends. I'm expecting one big team fight in the Thinker of Things base. I'm very interested to see if Bubster can actually like clutch up and, you know, carry his team to victory, because all eyes are on him. He is the superstar right now. If he cannot clutch up, his team will lose. There's no other way around it. Castle's done a fantastic job just showing his dominance this entire game. He's had a fantastic team. We do see the calling dropped onto the
coming
brawl.
through. Unbreakable is actually applied. The Renekton super low here. Doesn't actually even get his dominance off, but Bubster, eyes on the dragon. He's already a little bit low, but he's going to actually get the Achu out. The depth charge is going to come through, but he's going to be executed. Mark Boots has taken out Kappa Gaming, and now they'll come through. Olaf doing his best, actually stands his ground for quite a while there, but will allow Bubster to go godlike. And that's another defense held. 2 down on the side of Anyone Can Cook. This Lucian flirting with danger, but think Rev Think, they hold strong, and 612 stacks on this Smolder now. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, this is why I hate these Smolder comps. Like, Smolder has this wave play in order to kind of contest these 3 super minion waves, and like he's infinitely scaling to the point where it's very hard to deal with him and not immediately die.
Bubster, oh no, Leaf getting himself way too far out here. This is not necessary, and this is exactly the problem. This game just ended here. Bubster went out there to try to help, but this is not where Think needed to be at all. They need to be in their base. They were fine turtling. Cook has to come to them to try to win. That's going to be a Guardian Angel popped, but Mark Boots can't even get the execution off. It goes with a whimper. Rev, I'm sorry, your team does not get game 1. The overreach from Leaf into the jungle just spells doom for the rest of their team. Bubster walks in, gets just put into a tomb, put into the ground, put down. Now there's nothing to do but clean up this mess, put the Nexus on blast, and we're off to game 2.
I'm gonna say right now, Think's merely playing to win in 3. Like, this is just a confidence boost for Anyone Can Cook. It happens sometimes, but look, I'm not counting them out just yet. These are 2 very fantastic teams. I have no doubt that next game is going to be just as fun to watch and just as proactive as this one. Honestly, back to the start of the draft. Honestly, this is just exactly how I thought it'd pan out. Kindred, Lucian doing almost all the damage, and then Smolder just almost, I think he does more damage than his entire team combined.
I'm waiting for that percentage. I'm waiting for production to bring up that percentage of how much of his team's damage he did, because he at 68, 70k, he's done more damage than I think the rest of his team combined. That's 51.3% of his team damage. That is insane.
Yeah, Smolder is one of the champions of all time. I hate the snot-nosed bastard, but honestly, fun game to watch. It was like good plays from both sides. I do think Think had a lead at one point, and they could have expanded on it. But Castle, like, obviously his overwhelming presence across the map, just whatever lead they did have for a brief moment, he snuffed out like a little candle at a rainstorm. Honestly, what did you expect from this match? Obviously, it was a win, like you were expecting, but was there anyone that kind of stood out for you? Was there anyone you were expecting to do worse? Like, what do you think?
So, production's bothering me right now about this, but I just want to at least have the moment to point out that the CSD at 14 was plus 145, which feels ridiculous and not possible. That feels wrong. That actually feels mathematically wrong, because the Lucian was not doing that bad. So, I see that. It's insane. I don't actually buy it, because that bot lane was actually pretty equaled out. So, looks insane, feels like fake news. I would say that the highlight is again, I'm going back, it's harping on it. I feel like I should be finding more points, but I'm just not. The discipline on both sides of the rift here to maintain their situation and understand what their win conditions were. Because think that game was thrown just from an overreach into the jungle that they did not need to worry about. They have the damage. They have the ability to win this game if they just turtled up and stayed in their jungle. I feel like Leaf they just had the one misplay that threw the map, and Bubster with the second misplay that threw the map. And that was what sort of cost it. Everything else was just pretty much holding par for par across each role. The Ivern fell behind, but did their job. And unfortunately, that would be the main critique I'd have on Majnu, is just going a little bit too far out into the jungle a handful of times, giving way too many opportunities for Anyone Can Cook to do more of what they want. And it just doesn't pan out. I believe we've got our markers here correctly, but they even had Soul. So with the Cloud Soul and with the scaling of this Smolder, the double support to bolster them, and the Renekton and the Akali to cause a bunch of chaos, this was a game that was totally in Think's hand, regardless of the state of the map, regardless of the gold lead or anything like that. Stacks matter more than gold when Smolder's on the field. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I think maybe Think made that mistake of just putting all the eggs into the Smolder basket. Like, yeah, he is a 1v9 champion, but later in the game, not having any other source of damage kind of just made it easy for Anyone Can Cook to just dump all amount of CC they have onto the Smolder.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. They actually were able to jump on him, but they were never really able to jump on him unless it was in a discordant fight in the jungle or in that last little 1-2 throw. Like the beefiness between Daisy, Ivern, Shields, Renekton, and the Braum. The only two people that were actually going to go in were between Nautilus on the engage or the Lissandra on her own engage with the Claw and the Ring and the Tomb, or Olaf just running at him. So there's something about the hyper carry turtle comp that ThinkRev had. They had it. They totally had this, in my opinion. And game's over. We're gonna call that game one, everyone. Me and Rev are gonna stop fighting about this one. all in good discussion, good fun. We gotta get ourselves ready for a game 2. I've got myself a little poppy bevy on the side, so I'm getting myself refreshed. You go do the same. We'll see you back here for the draft.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here for game 2 between Anyone Can Cook and ThinkRev. We're in week 4, day 2 of the Final Boss Draft League. We're having a point value differential, a big adjustment here on the side of ThinkRev, bringing themselves up to a 184 point value. Striker Jones, Mr. Andy, is on the field replacing Zemi. The rest of the cast has stayed the same here, but I'm going to hand this on over to my co-caster to take care of Anyone Can Cook's roster, because there has been a change in their top lane as well.
So Anyone Can Cook has obviously swapped out their support, swapping out Kappa Gaming for Rias XG. But the biggest change here is the Frosty Slayer. Okay, top laners quiver when he steps on the Rift. Okay, and honestly, Dr. Backshots MD is going to. It's gonna be a movie to watch. Definitely this game. It's gonna be something to watch between him and Striker Jones. Now let's go back to this draft. ThinkRev is banning the Lee Sin and Mbessa, whilst Anyone Can Cook's banning, I believe that Zehen, Zinzao, and Varus. We do see some order ban, thank the Lord. We're not gonna have to see that happen again. What are your thoughts so far on these bans?
I like the removal of the Smolder. ThinkRev looking to not have their power position, their power selection picked against them. But it usually has to remain to see. Removing from Castle his Lee Sin and his Ambessa feels like those things, if he ever got a hold on him, the game might actually explode by like 10 minutes. Meanwhile, the Zehen, the Varus, and the Xin Zhao removal feels a little all over the place, getting rid of a bot laner, a top laner, or a jungler, and then another jungler. So probably trying to reduce what can be done by Andy, Striker Jones, or Majnu. The Lucian and the Ezreal pick, so feeling rather standard, nothing too spicy yet. I would hope that both teams would actually secure their supports as we get into the next round of picks here in the first phase.
Yeah, I mean, Bubster's again on that self-sufficient 80 carry, just like Smolder. I do think Ezreal has a little bit less carry potential than the Smolder, obviously. But we do see a Nefiri coming out. Whether that's mid or we don't know. I'd be excited to. I'm always excited to see Nefiri. It's a very fun champion to watch. Them just perma-kill the 80 carry on repeats. I'm very excited to see how Anyone Can Cook adapts to this flex pick.
We are going to see, because usually Nefiri, I kind of feel like Nefiri is a little bit of a coin toss of a jungler. And it actually feels like this is the first time ThinkRev is piloting. So Majnu just playing nothing but brand new on the evening. No history of Nefiri for the season so far.
Majnu is definitely full of surprises. I'm not surprised. Like, I'm still excited to see him play this. Honestly, he didn't do too bad on the Ivern last game. Obviously, there was a tad bit of an issue. We do see the Lilia and Milieu come out. Milieu is an infamous pairing with the Lucian. Lilia is just always a very strong jungler. And
has only been played once before, actually, in the season. So this Lilia is not exactly brand new for Anyone Can Cook, but they've only had one win, it looks like, so far. Yep, games win, games lost. Where you at, honey? So yeah, the Lily's only been played twice by Anyone Can Cook this season, and it's kind of been mixed results. May or may not have been piloted by Castle. So we're going to see if, I would expect then that for the mid lane and top lane to be more AD, more physical damage characters. Otherwise, the damage profile of Anyone Can Cook might be compromised. And I'm going to let you show up on this one here, because that's a Master Yi in the top lane.
Yeah, so we might have had a little bit of inside information. I know that's Andy the Ball's Master Yi. He loves playing Master Yi top. I don't know why. I think that champion's a bit of a monkey, but I think it's going to be cinema watching Dr. Backshot's MD having to deal with Master Yi top. Now that doesn't mean that the Nefiri is still a flex between jungle mid. We do see that Malphite ban. I wonder, is Striker Jones scared of Dr. Backshots on Malphites? Is that what I'm hearing, Andy? Or is it just a sensible ban into an otherwise AD-centric comp? I don't know. We do see the Akali ban come out. Obviously, Mark Boots left an impression on Anyone Can Cook with that pick, and as well as the Lissandra ban coming out on like just bans that were like results from last game being as dominant as they were. We do see a LeBlanc ban targeting Mark Boots. What are your thoughts on that so far?
I did see the LeBlanc ban in the last game, so that is tracking at least for limiting what Mark Boots can do as one of the other tier 1 players on the side of Think Rev Think. And I do really appreciate the Lissandra ban. I know Arthidius did very well on it last game, but I believe these other bans, particularly the Malphite and the Lissandra ban on the side of Think Rev Think, is to limit. You've got to be kidding me. No.
That's right at the top.
No.
That's Dr. Backshot's MD, baby! Buster Slayer!
No! Oh, no! Oh, my professionalism is about to leave right now. Why are you bringing in the spike ball of stupid? Why is this here? No!
Dude, I love games like these. It's wacky picks all around. We have Rammus top versus Master Yi top.
Holy...
Surely, I'm very interested to see how this goes. Andy the Ball is of course, the favorite to win that matchup, but I've seen Dr. Backshot's MD do some quite hideous things on this pick. So I'd very much love to see how he does going forward.
I don't know how this goes. This is such a lane focused idea on the side of Dr. Backshots, because like he's gonna go so much armor focused. And what's really stupid right now is that it's actually a good idea. Nefiri, Ezreal, and the Yi are all physical damage characters. The Yuumi will have a bit of magic damage. The Cassiopeia is a machine gun, but like I can kind of see the angle. I'm just really sad that the Malphite got banned, because that would have been a way better pick for Anyone Can Cook. And there's no crazy shenanigans on where anyone's going in this game, but that's our breakdown. Dr. Backshot's MD, Mr. Bungleborg, has gotten himself a Rammus in the top lane, and Striker Jones, Mr. Andy, is going to have his swing and slash and Samurai of 8 eyes. Actually, wait, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eyes. That feels weird. That feels wrong. Alrighty. Eyes on the top lane, ladies and gentlemen, here. We have everything else is rather standard. Nefiri is in the jungle. Cassiopeia is in the mid lane. A Vex for Arthidius. So a few engage opportunities between... I really hope Dr. Backshot's get himself a Ghost. And we're going to see what happens here. We're going to get ourselves into a little bit of break to let the game load up, get our buffer going, and we'll see you on the Rift.
You are live.
Welcome, everyone. We're back at another game. Game 2 of Think Rev Think versus Anyone Can Cook. Right now, it's Anyone Can Cook is up 1-0. Church, what do you think? What are your thoughts on these drafts?
I hate it. No, I think these drafts are actually super interesting. I feel like neither of them are super standard. That does make it a little bit exciting. But this Rammus in the top lane has me concerned. I believe if you check the Twitch chat, if you want to come entertain yourselves a bit with this stream here and interact in the chat, there was an over-under put out to see how many kills Striker Jones would get by about the 10-minute mark, I believe it was. I predicted 5. And there was a little bit of an agreement on that, at least in the green room. We're going to see how that plays out, because as was pointed out by my co-caster, if Dr. Backshots can take good direction and doesn't fall too far behind, there's still a lot of opportunity that can be acquired. There's that taunt on the side of Dr. Backshots with this Rammus is super potent and can pretty much ruin anyone's lives on the side of Anyone Can Cook if the rest of TRT can follow up on the play.
Yeah, definitely having Dr. Backshots on a like a tanky engage like Rammus is a really good choice. A QR into a Cassiopeia, or like taunting Cassiopeia or taunting this Nefiri could spell their doom, especially with the follow up from the castle like Liliad Q or Arthidius ults. Overall, I think it's a good decision. I think it's pretty wacky. But like this is the Frosty Slayer. I'm putting my trust into him. Even though he's against what is no doubt the best top in this league. So let's see. I'm very curious to see how this pans out.
I am too. I always like to do an evaluation of just what's the ease of execution for either comp, and I would say that with how many engage options that are available on the side of TRT, between the Rammus can just kind of face tank and can count as an engage, the Lilia with the seedlings to potentially get a Lilting Lullaby, the Vex being able to come in with her Shadow Surge to kind of fly in and just blow up the situation. A lot of opportunities for TRT to at least pick fights and lock people down, blow them up, taunt them, give someone a bad day. Not the same thing on the side of TRT. There's not really any true engage opportunities. A lot of kind of maybe running in with the Highlander on the Yi to, pick a fight, alpha strike around, dodge around. But yeah, so kind of give the ease of execution advantage on the side of anyone can cook. But the skill difference in this top lane might prove itself to be too much for anyone can cook to handle.
I mean, I understand you're talking about like the ease of engage for anyone can cook. I don't think that's like all that like it's very important. It's very like important notes. Think has a very good comp that wants them to be like ran into. Cassiopeia like loves being ran into. Bubster obviously is on that Ezreal like in kite for days. Master Yi or Master Yi, if you overextend, he will just kill your backline. Same with Nefiri. So I'm very interested to see, while yes, anyone can cook's comp is definitely easier to execute, I think Think has that level of complexity to it that could turn the tide if anyone can cook just goes a bit too AFK. It does seem as if we're looking at some early trading, both in the top side of the map.
Poison has been tricked, and there's going to be super low here. That's going to actually trigger. It's going to give it a little bit of speed, and he's going to be able to flash in. First blood acquired by Mark Boots, getting out of the right chain with the poison. A lot of pain being put onto Dr. Backshots here, and that's going to be another catch. Flash away, does not get the other kill. So Majnu getting themselves a little bit of an advantage here against Castle. Very different tone shift. Oh, can he actually get he cannot get the taunt off. 2 turret shots will be eaten, but that will be a kill. First kill acquired there by Striker Jones here 4.5 minutes into game 2.
Honestly, I'm very happy to see that Majnu is kind of giving Castle a taste of his own medicine. Last game, we saw Castle just invade Majnu level 2. It did not go well. This time, he's going on that more aggressive footing, especially with Mark Boots as his, backing him up, getting able to secure that early first blood. And of course, we see Dr. Backshots is giving Striker Jones a little bit of false hope. It's fine. He has an overarching plan. Okay, he's the doctor for a reason. Now,
right.
We do see a little bit of early trading in this bot lane.
Well, a little bit of a flash in there. Doesn't actually get the knock up with the ball. So a little bit of an attempt, but a misplay there by Reoxed.
Overall, I mean, it was a flash burn from both Milio, and we see Unleaf also burn the heal. So it's kind of a 1-for-1. I do think that the flash on the Milio is, of course, infinitely more important than, Yumi's sum. We do also see some more trading from that top side. Striker Jones is asserting his dominance with that, like, Halo Blades, Master Yi. I've seen, like, Master Yi top typically goes Halo Blades into these tankier matchups because they just can't respond in time. You have that burst of damage that's, like, really hard to out-trade. We also see the Cassiopeia just looking for another kill opportunity in mid.
Yep, and I believe we're about to see another dive here from Striker Jones onto this Rammus. He's going to be able to ultimate. Actually, he's going to be able to get the trade here. Very well played here. Buying time, delaying the use of that taunt. The Alpha Strike was not used at the best timing, I don't think, there. So a good trade of damage. Has the Bramble Vest, has the Doran's Shield. This is a very good start here for Dr. Backshots to stay relevant and keep Striker Jones from getting too far ahead too early.
Who needs CS when you're aura killing the enemy in top laner? That's all I'm going to say. I'm very surprised at that trade. It was a really well played by Dr. Backshots. Of course, he did lose that entire wave. Has to burn the teleport. We do see a little bit of invade action.
Yeah, here the dog is coming in here. It's going to be the sleep's going to be used. Oh, and here comes the Vex. Plenty of damage thrown out. Castle's going to be able to get the kill onto Majnu with the burn. Oh, and that's going to be a chain. We're going here. Shadow Surge, able to be used, will not take that second trip.
Honestly, well played from the side of anyone could cook. Like good rotates and was able to punish Imaginu for that risky invade. Overall, it's a level of aggression I love seeing games like these. I hate boring 40-minute slop games. Okay, I want to see bloodshed.
I see. I see a man of culture.
We do see the calling being dropped in the bot lane by Opquid. Obviously Bubster was able to like survive it. What do you think is gonna happen with that bot lane coming up? I mean, we have Dragon up. Lily is probably gonna be pathing down there since she has bot camps up. What are you expecting to see?
I feel like that call really disables Opquid from being able to get into any early fights or any skirmishes around the dragon. But that's my analysis. That may not be theirs. The exchanging and the trading that's been occurring here on the bot lane has really felt like it's in the favor of anyone can cook. Really, kind of putting Leaf on notice and Bubster on notice. They're not gonna be able to get the kind of control that they want. The wave, I think, has more often than not been into their side of the map. Oh, Highlander being used. He's going to be able to get himself ulting out. He's going to be able to get the taunt. Does not actually get to use the taunt. Tower doesn't even strike him. So, Striker Jones with 3 kills, 8 minutes in, we might. It doesn't feel like we're going to be able to get that over-under.
Yeah, I mean, we're very much seeing that, like, skill difference happening in the top lane. Striker Jones is taking advantage of the fact that Dr. Backshots is a relatively worse player than he is. I mean, he's up 50 CS. He's up like 2 kills. Dr. Backshots has lost. I believe this has been the 3rd wave he's lost. He's playing extremely well. He is shows in the gold. He has the most gold in the lobby. As we said in this pre-game, like this is going to be, can Striker Jones take over the game before Castle becomes online? I do feel like that's what's happening. Like Striker Jones was already a 3-1 lead. If it comes down to it, I'm going to favor a Master Yi 1v9 over a Lily 1v9 just because of the fact that Master Yi is a very self-sufficient character that can... We all know, we've all seen the pentakill montages. I don't need to go further. We do see a fight in the bot lane
Big fight here going in here. Milium actually has been caught out on the wrong spot here. They were going to try to get the dog, but they actually end up getting the little boy. And now, the Fury is going further here. Going to try to take down Lilia. Oh, Flash is available. Castle trying to bait this out, but kind of setting them up to be able to take the dragon. Will use it, get himself out. But that'll be first Drake going over into TRT's hands.
I mean, really well played by TRT. They collapsed on the overextended Lucian and the overextended Lilia. I'm kind of disappointed that we see another kill top lane.
Big fight here as we're trying to get on him, but the Barry's going to be able to save him. Dodges from that 1 Q, but now he's have to play a bunch of other dancing footwork. Opquid, no mana. Oh, great connection there. Arthurius is going to collect, and that's going to be another one after the other. Does not get the second Shadow Surge. TRT is going to try to back off, but they're still trying to go for it. Great ultimate from Mark Boots. Is going to be able to get one. Castle goes down. Holding their ground, looking for the fight. Vision is still more than available. Gonna be able to get one knock up, but that will be the conclusion of that fight. Dragon does go over to red side. They get that win, but how much else is being lost here?
To anyone who voted that Dr. Backshots was going to be
no one voted.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I was using the bathroom. But like Dr. Backshots was solo killed yet again topside. Does seem as if Master Yi is controlling the wave.
Over the wall, catches one. Majnu gets one. He's going to be able to ultimate onto the other one. Double kill picked up. That's a 2-1 and 2 Majnu on his Neferi.
We are likely to see this tower go down here. I mean, Master Yi has the Titanic Hydra. He's going to look to be hitting that tower and possibly just killing Dr. Backshots after. He's going to instead look for that proxy on Dr. Backshots' incoming wave, as well as maybe secure some early vision into the blue topside jungle. He's very strong right now. I do believe he just gets the 2v1 if jungle goes up. I think the only way they kill Andy or Striker Jones right now is if they have 3 members go to deal with him, as he's currently invading their jungle.
He's being surrounded right now. Dr. Backshots has to play this very carefully. He is the hammer to the anvil that is the rest of Anyone can cook. He's going to try to get onto. He's going to be able to flash away, but he's going to get locked down, and that burn's probably going to finish him off. Shutdown gold goes over to Dr. Backshots. That's kind of what you want. The more armor that goes on to this Rammus, the worse off it's going to be for Striker Jones, and the harder Dr. Backshots is going to actually hit with his auto attacks. If anyone missed that about how this champion works, I know Rammus still feels like a Season 1 champion, but there are some stat checks that come with the little porcupine ball.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like that shutdown gold on Lilia is enough to get like propeller forward in this game. She is up quite a few CS on the Majnu, and that shutdown only propels her even further.
That's another one. Oh, the Shadow Search does not collect, but will still be acquired castle. Getting himself some more gold, some more kills. Second kill acquired. Everyone's fighting around this top side of the river, and there's not really anything to worry about. 2.5 minutes till Herald gets up. 3 grubs have already been picked up by TRT. So I'm not sure why everyone's getting all feisty there.
Maybe they're just getting antsy. Like as we said early in the game. I mean, I personally think games are a lot more fun when blood's being shed constantly. Maybe they're feeling the same way. We do see that first tower in the top lane going down. Good job by Striker Jones abusing that matchup, even though it's a quote-unquote perceived counter. He was playing it really well, as expected of him. Now, let's take a look at the bot side. It's kind of been a more farm-oriented. Like, nothing's really happened. We do see that Israel has a kill. But, like, outside of those, a couple of skirmishes in the jungle, they've just been kind of farming. Not a lot of heavy trading done. I mean, I guess it's to be expected of Ezreal, Yuumi, into Lucian Milio. But, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's just going to stay pretty stable for quite a while. Both bot laners are prepared to just farm their way up because TRT, Bubster knows that Andy is just going to be able to carry from the top side here, and anyone can cook is going to try to actually pull something else off. Going to be able to flash away. Good amount of turret shots are going to hit. Being brought to about 300 health here. Striker Jones playing on the edge of what can be done. Damage advantage here for Bubster. He's going in for it. He wants it, but the calling's going to come out here. It gets canceled. Another dash around here. The double shot will secure. Opiquid will get that kill. And a fight there by the chickens, but not much else to be done here. Alpha Strike's going to come through. He's going to try to get the taunt. Second turret strike will hit, and that is a counter kill. Dr. Backshots, the Frosty Slayer. Dr. Backshots is playing on the edge, and he's still getting what he wants.
Add Andy Slayer to his resume because he's 3-5 against Andy the Balls.
There we go, and that's all you could ask for. And that will be cleansed. The Mikhail's picked up by Autumn Leaf. That's exactly what we were looking for. So, gonna give the item kudos over to Leaf on the kitty cat.
Honestly, Rushing Mikhail's is such a brilliant play this game. You have the Rambus Taunt, you have the Lily of Sleep. The Vex Sphere, any of these CCs is certain death for this Ezreal. So obviously good optimization there. We do see that Machu's just soloing the dragon, just consequence free. Hopefully we see Lilia. We do see Lilia starting that Herald. What are your thoughts on the prioritization of dragons versus heralds this game?
There's not really a big scaling advantage on either side as far as I would see and can tell. So it really comes down to can they actually maximize what's kind of happening to him. Because Yi does get to a pretty like nuclear state. And I can say that there's a lot of opportunities outside of the taunt on anyone can cook to take care of him. So it's really, I don't really have a strong opinion. One, the advantage is really on the side of TRT. They're kind of getting themselves a win condition by getting the first 2 Drakes, and they still even have the gold lead. Big damage there put out by the solution. I think he wants to pull forward here. He's going to actually get the calling out. He's going to flash forward, cannot get the rest of it. Yuumi getting themselves unbonded, and now super big advantage here. And oh, one more auto attack. Opiquid will get the trade out, but now Milio, Riaz, you need to kind of run for it. Oh, the Lilia has arrived. Uses the pack to dodge away.
Honestly, great moves by Opiquid. He committed a little bit too much, so obviously he just moves in trade on Bubster. We are seeing Lilia just kind of drop their balls on the Nefarious face. I'm wondering to see like if he's able to kind of secure a kill. If that E had hit, he probably would have. Obviously they're gonna back out. Just look for take a reset here after getting pushing up that wave. We do see the Ezreal ult dropped in, and it does seem as if Andy the Balls is looking to just mess around under his turret. Very fun to watch.
Very fun indeed. Super engaging gameplay here. And we're going to have a pause. Something might have gone wrong, a little bit of maybe a tech pause in game. But I think the game's going to sit at a very slow rolling situation right now. There's a Thorn Mail acquired as well as steel plate caps from Dr. Backshots. He has his teleport so he can get back. He's only 3-5-0, 5-3-0 on the side of Striker Jones. There's been no real help to the top side. This has entirely been leveraged by Striker Jones to get this advantage. But this is where all the advantage is. The rest of the gold differentials across the map are rather negligible. 1.3k on the advantage for Opiquid. And something else has to happen here. The 2 dragons have been collected, but they've got to start getting other towers in. They've got to start getting other major objectives taken care of and collected.
Honestly, like, I think considering the circumstances, Dr. Backshots is definitely doing a lot better than I genuinely thought he was. Or thought he would be. Like, even able to be getting these, like, 3 return kills onto Striker Jones, despite such a large skill disparity, is really good. He's not doing like the worst in CS. He's averaging about like 4 or 5 CS a minute, which considering he's going through, isn't all that bad. Of course, he's going to be looking towards his team to kind of make up the differences and what he's been doing so far. Which, honest to say, like Opquid's been doing a wonderful job doing. He's up 1.3k, and while jungle's a tad bit more even in terms of that late game team fighting, if Rammus is able to peel the Naafiri off of his AD carry, I'm always going to value that Lilia more than a Naafiri because of the what she brings to the table in terms of her team fighting, her engage potential. Like Flash QR into Zonya's is always game winning if it hits enough people by Lilia as Fed and as good as Castle. So I'm interested to see like how he's going to navigate that late game. What do you think about this mid matchup? It's kind of like obviously Cassiopeia is winning, but I don't think Arthidius has been playing too bad either. So, like, what are your thoughts on that? No,
I think they've been trading out very well. I think Arthidius is still maintaining like a very positive, very solid positioning. I believe you can see that they're a tier 2 player, but they're still playing and matching their lane opponent. Mark Boots has done well, but part of my struggle with Cassiopeia is that that Cassiopeia is kind of is one of the other machine gun mages in this game that needs kind of a lot of protection because she's so immobile. And Arthidius is gonna get a lot of opportunities, especially with just how squishy all of TRT is to just chain these shadow surges and really put a lot of hurt and a lot of fear, a lot of CC that is going to allow for Opiquid on the solution, for Castle and the Lilia dancing around, for even Dr. Backshots to get in and chime in. It's going to be a very disruptive situation. I'm looking for it, but I'm only seeing it on the Master Yi. There should be a lot more Mercury Treads being bought on the side of TRT. The tenacity and the overwhelming amount of magic damage that is going to be coming out of Anyone Can Cook, Mercury Treads would be such a major boon to their situation, and we'll remain to see that. But that's been sort of my take between how the mid lane's going. Feels rather neutral. Feels like Arthidius is going to have a way more proactive opportunity than Mark Boots just by champion selection. But I'm still looking for just on an itemization level for TRT to get the Mercury Treads to sort of minimize what Dr. Backshots' impact will be, what the damage from the Vex and the Lilia will be, even a little bit from the Milio, because the main damage consistent dealer on the side of Anyone Can Cook is this Lucian, and that is a short-range ADC with a dog and a Yi that want to jump on your face, and that is so hard to deal with.
That is fair. Again, I'm also kind of curious what Dr. Backshots is building right now. I do see he has a glowing mode, which, I mean, if I had to guess, it's going either into a Frozen Heart, or if he really wants to be clearing waves, maybe a Bombing Cinder, or what's it called? Sunfire?
Yeah, Sunfire.
But back to what you were saying about, like, the low-range Lucian. I think in terms of what they're trying to do, I think they have the tools for them to go in. Yes, the Lucian is vulnerable when he gets into that like low range, but to be honest, Cassiopeia, like Lucian going to Cassiopeia range is definitely what Cassiopeia wants. I think if he does get into that range, unless he has such a massive outplay, it doesn't matter. Cassiopeia wins that most of the time because of the fact that like if like you have Miasma that's gonna make it to where he can't dash. All of her stuff's point and click. You have her ultimate that's like a game changer if he tries to ult. Like, yes, the low range might negatively impact that Lucian. I do think that Think has drafted the tools to deal with it, especially with like this more spell slinging style. Again, if Master Yi is able to get onto any of the backline, I think they're just dead. As we see, he's almost on his second item, and he has Flash Ignites, so as well as Highlander being able to just zoom him near wherever he needs to be. But of course, I'm excited to see where this game goes.
We're just waiting for it to get going. We're just waiting for it to get going at this point here. I have not heard anything from production yet on what sort of the holdup is. Maybe someone's DC'd, their computer might have gotten kicked. So we're just going to be holding tight. I was looking actually across what is in the pockets of both teams, and particularly the Herald is in Castle's hands right now, and I'm very curious as to where that would be used, because right now there's only been one turret taken by Striker Jones, that top one against Dr. Backshots. I'd usually like to see the Herald used on the middle lane, the classic just open up the map, get the mid lane tower down. We are back. But that's sort of like on the timer. The Herald Eye is in the hands of Anyone Can Cook in Castle Jones's pocket, or in Castle's pocket. I don't know why I combined their names like that. And we're going to have to see if they actually can use this to get some gold into the pockets of the team, get some map control, map availability opened up for them, to even get into some of those death brushes that we were seeing in the first half of last game.
I could see it being used mid. I could also see it being used bot. Again, like that way they can open up that bot side, have their Lucian transfer over to the mid lane into a safer position. Their Lucian is very much one of their strongest points of the team right now. Him in the league, so having him available for that 2v2, potentially 3v3 skirmish would be definitely a boon for this team. We do see Cassiopeia ult coming down. Unfortunately, not grabbing anyone. What do you think about, like, generally speaking, what do you think is going to happen with Drake coming up in 2 minutes? We have Baron up in 2:30. Like, what do you think is going to happen at the state of the game?
I think what's going to happen right now is that we're seeing this attempted lane gag from Striker Jones against Opiquid. Luckily, that ward was in that first bush, so they were entirely aware of it. They're still going to show up here, and they're going to be able to get away from the Yuumi damage, but there's no counter damage being put onto anyone except for the Yuumi. He actually tanked 2 or 3 turret shots, and that means that the Highlander is activated. Striker Jones is going in and chasing down this Milio, and is going to pretty much secure that second kill. Castle trying to do it the best he can. Alpha Strike's going to go on in. It's not going to be able to be enough damage to get lethal. Castle going to try to get what he can into turret range. The burn's going to maybe get the kill. Bubster will go down. But this is, oh no, and the Shadow Surge just misses. Arthidius trying to get in there to help clean up that situation and support his team. I think this game's going to it's going to fall apart here for a bit. Oh, and that Titanic Hydra is going to put way more damage onto Arthidius' face than he would like. I don't think you want to actually be here right now. The fear is going to be a really good idea, Lucian. One more auto tech's going to get the shutdown gold. That's what you need here, ladies and gentlemen. Double kill over to Opiquid. Rammus gonna be able to actually... He's going to be able to knock him in. He's kind of holding his own right now. Not dying just yet. Super low. Oh, gets the knockup, but the ult, and the Fury ult will be able to secure the kill. That's a lot of investment and a lot of health traded off by Majnu to make that happen.
Honestly, it's exactly what I'm expecting from Dr. Backshots. He almost had it. Like just a little bit longer, he definitely gets that kill. We are going to see Cassiopeia just murk Lucian. As I was explaining earlier, like if Cassiopeia ever gets in range of Lucian, fight's just over. Honestly, what do you think about that fight that happened bot side? Obviously, Master Yi got a triple, which is a big positive, but he did get shut down because he overextended. What are your thoughts on that? Exactly.
I think that was kind of an overextension there on the side of Striker Jones, and them just playing a little bit too hard, playing a little bit too far. The Yuumi is attached to Striker Jones, unsurprisingly. I don't think that the intention was to have this Yuumi just for the Ezreal, because the win condition is Striker Jones on this Master Yi. So I feel like that fight just was a little bit too much, just a hair too far. They'd already gotten their advantage, and then they wanted to go a little bit further and kill Castle. And Castle, I'm sorry, he was too good. He danced around. They was able to get the counter kill onto Bubster. Good trade, just still meant that there was going to be more opportunities available for TRT to kind of take more control of the map. And that was 2 minutes ago. Now, Infernal Drake's up, and TRT are positioned to get their third Drake, and especially if Castle's going to get caught out. Here goes Golden. Hourglass trying to use the culling to create a bit more space. He's going to use the Herald on the knock-up here. The Yuumi is going to get burned out. It's going to go down. Oh no, the cleanse is going to come through here, but now that the Fury has jumped on in, has eaten 2 here. Lucian and Lilia are dead. 3 total. Looks like Milio got caught out by the Cassiopeia. They're heading for Baron.
Honestly, if you are Thinker, I think this is exactly the play you want. Like, team fights are playing exactly as you want. They're coming into you. You have Cassiopeia. You have that Master Yi. They're playing it so fantastically smooth. Castle, of course, is trying his hardest to kind of equalize the disparity that happened in the top lane. But, of course, he's just not enough. He hasn't been able to farm enough, get enough. Dr. Backshots is going to try to trade that top lane turret to try and get any amount of gold from what was overall a negative trade. But he is gonna get out. But overall, I think it was really well played from Thinker. I think this is definitely what they need in order to get back into that tempo especially after the loss that they suffered last game.
Yeah, this is a good little counter experience here. A little bit of a different situation we find ourselves in. As I think are in the driver's seat. And Castle's going to really struggle. This is one of the things, I like Lilia, and Lilia has sort of an agency in a dueling situation, kind of like what you're seeing against the Cassiopeia. That burn, and the Shadow Surge will connect here, and now he can get the other Shadow Surge in. He's going to jump on in, blow up this Ezreal. There we go. And now Dr. Backshots gets on in here, and this is going to be another follow-up, but might have gone too far there, Thaddeus, and now this Yi can go on in. The Yuumi in his pocket, but they're actually dividing and conquering here. Striker Jones gets nothing on that jump, and Quid with another kill takes out the cat. And Castle, he's trying to go far. He's trying to get at least one seed pop over. The dogs will attack, defending their mother, but that's a good little counterpunch there by Anyone Can Cook here. We've got ourselves a match. 1.4k gold lead is nothing in this league. Anything can flip the tide. And now they're going to get their first Drake.
Honestly, really well played by Anyone Can Cook. We said it in the beginning of the match. Dr. Backshots taunting is what quite literally killed Striker Jones. It allowed his team to turn on them. Really well played by the entire team of Anyone Can Cook. I personally thought they overextended, but then they proved me wrong. As I said earlier, these teams have a habit of making me put my foot in my mouth. And I thought Striker Jones was about to get a pentakill, and I was proven wrong immediately after. We do see that Dr. Backshots has opted for that Protoplasm Harness, which is going to help with his engages, as when he gets low health, he's going to just gain a bunch of health and get bigger. What are your thoughts going into, because we're starting to approach the mid to late game, what are you going to want these teams to kind of prioritize going forward?
I am thinking that Anyone Can Cook are going to be in a similar situation to what TRT wanted last match, where they want to actually have more of 5v5 team fights. It's kind of the area where Master Yi struggles the most. It's kind of why you don't usually see him in higher ranks of solo queue, because he's kind of more easily countered with at least higher skilled players that know how to use their CC, lock him down, prevent him from being able to do much of anything. It's like Majnu's going to be able to get out of this. So what I would think, if they can actually have their coordination down, Castle, a little bit of a reach. You're trying to sturdy up. They're gonna run down this. I actually kind of like this here. The sleep will put him down here, but now the taunt's gonna be available, and you're gonna be taken care of here. The lane might have not gone into Dr. Backshot's favor, but he is getting work done here with this team, leading the charge. They might be trading those 3 kills here for some turret damage, and TRT might be okay with that. So,
I mean, as I said earlier, Dr. Backshots is known as the Frosty Slayer, and he's known for that for a reason. He's done a fantastic job of, he got killed, I think it was 4 times solo in the top lane. He went down 50 CS. He is making his impact in these team fights, and because of it, his team has now equalized what was I think it was a 4k gold lead. Fantastic job from the entire side of Anyone Could Cook. This just goes to prove that it doesn't really matter what tier you are, you can make that impact, even into a child literal Grandmaster's player.
Yeah, and especially if you have the single spell that will spell doom for Striker Jones with that taunt. And until Striker Jones gets himself the Shadow cloak to give him a bit of a spell shield that might be able to prevent that. The Mikhails on the side of Autumn, like, I don't think it's going to be enough for the layers of CC and the layers of damage that can come in from Anyone Can Cook if Striker Jones goes in kind of all by himself. This is kind of the problem that we've seen, and this is kind of where how we're going to see the rest of this game go out, where TRT, they don't really want a full front-to-back team fight. They don't have the front line like Cook do between the dancing Lilia and the Rammus, who now has gotten he's 2.5 items deep. He's becoming a super thick boy. And they just can't really stand up to that. The 5v5 is entirely in the favor of Anyone Can Cook, and I like the little bit of culling there, some LPL play style here, really putting the pressure onto this mid wave. So that's kind of my thoughts about how this is going to play out, how this is going to progress, because TRT, they're going to be looking for skirmishes. They want to be able to pick people out. They want to play for sidelines. They want to be able to limit the options. Good bit of fear here, and that might be a blown-up Ezreal. Doesn't entirely go down. Vex is going to flash away from any other follow-up damage, but that will be assertion, and Opiquid just asserting himself here is going to be able to get one more kill here. The heals from this Milio. Resog staying right with his AD carry, keep him alive, enabling him. That's good. That's some good news right there.
Honestly, they've been like Anyone Can Cook has been doing a really good job of showing their like mastery over their mid game. Like they were down a major goal deficit. They're now ahead by a solid 2K. We do see Mastery popping that Highlander in order to go in. I'm wondering if he's gonna. I mean, Rammus is not here to protect his team, so I'm expecting a quadra kill from.
Yeah, but Opiquid's strong enough. He doesn't really care. If you can't get the sword to my face, I'll put the gun to your mouth, and he will get the double kill, taking out the Yi and the Yuumi. And what do you know? Baron's up and available, and you led us right to it, Striker Jones. Anyone Can Cook are going to get themselves a nice big old purple worm, and we might find ourselves in a 2-0 situation with how this game is now flipped in who's in control, who has the gold lead. 4K gold lead now, 27 minutes into the game. It's time for Anyone Can Cook to put this one out.
Honestly, I wouldn't count Thinker of Think out just yet. I mean, I've seen comebacks from even like a lesser deficit. I believe we've had someone in this league lose while 10K up already. So obviously, I do think Thinker of Think has the tools to come back into this game. They, of course, the Mastery is a big factor, but they have that in the Fury. They have that Cassiopeia. And while Bubster's a little bit behind, he's still 3 items, almost 4. He's not like no slouch. He's been farming consistently. Unfortunately, Arthides is able to get that Vexel onto the Cassiopeia and get a pick, which does allow Anyone Can Cook to get their second dragon. But overall, we do see Mastery going to the top lane. What are your thoughts going forward on like how Thinker of Think can get back into this game?
I think Thinker of Think need to figure out how they're actually going to reapply pressure into the map, because as we pointed out, there isn't really a team fight opportunity here, and it's kind of where they have to sort of index into Striker Jones just doing a very aggressive amount of side wave manipulation, but he's kind of behind the ball right now. They're having to face tank this turret, but what Anyone Can Cook can kind of do is just apply a little bit of side pressure on one side of the map and then have 4 mid. And I don't think they're going to be able to clear this wave fast enough. There's going to be an inhib turret going down before Striker Jones can even get to the tier 2. And now he's having to back with the Yuumi to try to show up. I think he's going to go for the Vex, but that's going to be an inhib traded. And if this Vex can back off, there's a whole bunch of nothing. So Thinker of Think unable to really engage. They don't really have any options for that. There's no really engage opportunities here outside of the Yi Yuumi combo. And if Anyone Can Cook just doesn't overextend, if they actually stay disciplined, they play an objective game instead of a fighting team-based a fighting game, they're going to eventually just choke out Thinker of Think.
Yeah, honestly, I still think like Anyone Can Cook is at such a lead right now. It's going to be hard for Thinker of Think to overcome. Of course, I do think Thinker of Think has some X factors. As I said before, they want to be played into. While yes, Anyone Can Cook has demonstrated that they can play into them pretty well. All it takes is one mistake from like a Doctor Backshots. All it takes is a missed ult. All it takes is Upquid getting called out, and a lot of the damage is gone. A lot of the eggs are in Upquid Castle basket right now. And while yes, Dr. Backshots, it does have a shutdown right now, he is not the main like win factor to these to these team fights. Like
as we see right now, but that's going to be a little bit of an overextension there. Majnu being brought low. The cleanse not really used. That's not a very good ultimate there by Mr. Mark Boots. And this is how it's going to kind of go. It's taken a little bit longer than you might expect. The healing coming in, doing a lot of work. Oh, and the bird is going to finally take out Majnu. This might be the game-winning push right now. Yi is backing. That's another inhibitor, and that's a trade that you're okay with. But the taunt is not available to anyone can cook. This Yi does have the potential to go off. The fears from Arthidius need to be prime, and they need to be able to jump onto this Yi as soon as possible. I can't not see the items to see if the Mikhails is available. Oh, but the step forward here. Opie just jumps forward, takes out the snake, and now the press forward. Double kill for this Lucian. There's nothing much else to be done. Striker Jones and Autumn Leaf, they might have to watch the rest of their base fall apart here. We thought this was going to be a comical situation where Striker Jones just does a very hard carry, but anyone can cook are not allowing that to happen. Legendary acquired by this Lucian. A nice ace with the dunk from the seedling brought in by Castle. We are going to get ourselves a 2-0 situation. The great advantage, the great 2 gold stars on the night for anyone can cook. They will take game 2. We will have a third game for TRT to try to get themselves back on the map, get themselves a little bit of dignity win before the end of the night. But that plan did not play out like I think they wanted it to.
You do absolutely hate to see it. I do think that initially TRT was playing extremely well. Fortunately, they had a couple of misplays that kind of turned into allowing anyone can cook to come back. As we see in the damage charts, Lucian had 46,000 damage. Lily with the 29. The closest to that is Master Yi, barely doing a little bit more damage than Lilia. Again, I do believe Think had the game in the palm of their hand. They just had a slight fumble towards the mid to late game that allowed anyone can cook to just propel so far ahead of them. And we can see that in the goal chart as well.
Oh yeah, a perfect little storyboard there for everyone with that gold difference over time. Right about that 24-minute mark, that's pretty much when that mid lane fight happened, and Yi just got popped. And that's where, as I said before, Yi does so well in a skirmishing situation, in a 1v1 situation, because the Alpha Strike is basically like a soft Zanya's that allows him to dodge everything. Karth Assault, stuns, what have you. Your spells can be wasted if the person piloting the Yi has their ish together, and then the Meditate to buy more time for the next Alpha Strike while the auto attacks are flying through from the Highlander and any other items that you pilot you put into this Yi. It can be a powerhouse. There is a skill ceiling to the Yi that can be fully expressed by someone as skilled as Striker Jones, but you cannot 1v5, especially against a coordinated team. So even though he tops the damage for his team, that 46k damage on the side of with the Lucian on the side of anyone can cook, it was too hot to handle.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure about you, but my voice is starting to hurt a little bit. Why don't we throw it for a break for a little bit? That way we can allow both teams to kind of cool off and get ready for the next draft. Is that okay with you?
Oh, I'm good for. Yeah, let's go grab break. We'll see you at the next one. Sent in. We are live once more, and I see. Alrighty, there's a few changes that we're seeing in terms of the rosters of these teams here, Rev. But we've gotten a little bit of chatter. We're in the green room, chatting in the Discord. Join the Final Boss Draft League Discord at your earliest convenience here. It's a great little community. I've been very happy to meet this season, but Striker Jones is looking for the salty run back here, and Dr. Backshots is ready to prescribe him another round of pain and embarrassment. That last game. That was something for the books, I believe, Rev.
It was definitely one of the games of all time. Very fun to watch. We do see that the bans are changing quite drastically, as well as the different rosters. We have, instead of Castle Jung, we have Castle Mid. Still a very high tier caliber player in the mid lane. And we do have, I believe it's his brother Kappa Gaming in the jungle. That's why we see that Zac ban. It's a respect ban. Of course, we have different supports. We have Death #March, a very big, known staple in these leagues. Very good. He will all in and he will die doing it and love it.
That's
of
where I
course, we
remember
have-
him from. That's where I remember Death from. He was his own namesake so many times the first time I casted him this season. So I remember Death. I remember Death. He is a go in and cause problems kind of player.
It's always fun to watch. We do see that Varus picked up on the side of Think Ref Think for Bubster. And of course, Anyone Can Cook responds with the Sejuani. Obviously, for Kappa Gaming, Dr. Backshots doesn't play stuff like that. What do you think about the Sejuani response here?
I debated the Sejuani is going to be some. We saw it in the top lane last night because the jungler also had their secondary role as top lane for this season, so kind of trying to utilize their jungle knowledge and ability on the champion. And I don't think that's what's happening here. Dr. Backshot's secondary role, let me find you here, my friend, is mid lane this season, so top and mid would be what you'd expect. So I feel like this is going into the jungle, into Kappa's hands, to allow him to at least have some shot calling, do some front lining, provide the space for his tier 1 mid laner and AD carry. Castle has rotated from jungle into the mid lane, and Opiquid is still there in the bot lane. So that's at least my current thoughts right now. I do like the Draven. Opiquid is feeling himself ready for the 3-0. But Varus, Trundle, and then Ryze is the pickup on the side of Think Rev Think. What are your thoughts on how they're drafting so far?
Think Ref Think's doing a fantastic job drafting. Of course, Upquid Draven is going to be something to worry about if he gets ahead. Keyword if. Trundle is a great pick in Sejuani. You beat her at every stage of the game. Ryze is, of course, an amazing mage. It's one of Mark Boots' staples, to my knowledge. Of course, it is answered with Castle Cassiopeia. From what I understand, it's a very volatile matchup that Cassiopeia wins more often than not. But Mark Boots has done a phenomenal job just showing his prowess and showing his ability. So maybe he's able to offset what is a perceived skill difference between him and Castle with just his general champion mastery. Something to note, we do have 4 jungles in this game, 2 of them being off-roll. So I'm very interested to see how if the age-old adage of jungle is, the best role, is, gonna add up.
I totally get that jungle requires a lot more brains, I feel like, sometimes, than at least my experience for the other roles in the game, because of how much you have to plan ahead and be able to track what's going on in the map. If you're playing bot lane like I do, you have to remember that there is a mini-map to verify if you are in danger and if you should probably not be too far pushed up in your lane. Aha, I have traded heavy damage. Oh no, the jungler has arrived, and it's not mine. I can't say there's much else really going on here. The Malphite has been taken away on the side of Think Rev Think, so kind of feeling like we're repeating a little bit of what happened last time. The Braum being taken away as well to limit Death's options. That is something that they played, I believe, in a couple weeks ago. While the Vladimir is Vladimir like a Striker Jones Andy champion?
I think it's though I've had to talk with Frosty about it. Vladimir's a very good champion into low elo top laners. The reason for this is they're not likely to fight you, so you're allowed to free scale. Now, of course, Dr. Backshots is going to pick the Ornn, so Vladimir would have been a fantastic pick. Ornn doesn't really have any kill pressure ever on Vlad, and Vlad will be a problem these fights if he's allowed to free scale. But I'm expecting that Andy the Ball is Master Yi. If I don't see it, I riot. What are your thoughts?
I'm kind of agreeing on a counter. There's nothing really on the side of Anyone Can Cook that's going to counter it. I know it would be the salty run back, and I don't mean to have us accidentally reveal anything, but this is at least or even suggest what should be done inside of this draft. But the setup still feels right. The CC options that Anyone Can Cook actually have to buffer someone like a Garen, a Katarina, or a Yi is between either a well-timed Miasma to root him or the I can never remember that. The Stone Gaze from the Cassiopeia, but that's a delayed situation that can be flashed or even looked away from. The stand aside by the Draven with his E, a well-timed either Glacial Prison or the charge from the Sejuani. And Ornn doesn't really have any immediate CC options unless you get the breath into the auto attack counter. So it's rather limited, and
Is this a Varus top?
It's a Varus top. It's a Varus top.
Andy the Ball's revealing his chud status, playing Varus top into Dr. Backshot's Ornn. What are your thoughts on this? It's a very obviously feast or famine pick. If he gets behind, he's not gonna do as much, but I'm actually very excited to see it.
I expect this to actually punish really hard against the tank that is the Ornn. I can't imagine that Backshots is prepared for how much he could dominate the Varus if Andy goes a little bit too far there in the top lane. But this feels like a way more standard situation. I know the Varus is a ringer, but this feels super standard. 2 hook champions between the Thresh and the Blitzcrank. 280 carries, one that if this Draven gets ahead, OP Quid will do something like what he did with the Lucian in the last game. But anyone could cook, and Think both primed for a win. Just once more, Think lacking that front line. I believe it was them lacking that front line to really punish the situation, and anyone could cook with plenty of space between the Blitzcrank, the Sejuani, and the Ornn to allow for this Cassiopeia and Draven to do work. So my favor right now is going on to anyone can cook, but for right now we're going to take ourselves a little bit of break, and we will be back for the final game of the night.
Sending you in.
In we go.
You are live.
Final game of the night. We have ourselves a Varus in the top lane. Striker John's keeping it interesting, but I believe the favor is on the side of anyone can cook. Prime for the 3-0. They've got the Ornn, they've got the Draven for the early game option, and they've got themselves a beefy front line and a pick opportunity with the Blitzcrank hook. Do you see any angles here for TRT to be able to pull out at least one win tonight, Rev?
Honestly, if it's gonna be hard. Obviously, we have the Trundle into the Sejuani and Ornn. It's a fantastic matchup for going into both for Trundle. So looking to do 2v2s with Trundle Rise or Trundle Varus is going to generally be favorable for TRT. Of course, you have Bubster on Ashe is going to able to be scaling as well as act as a sort of a pseudo engage with their ultimate later in the game. But overall, if they're going to win, they're going to need to snowball off the back of the ranged top, or off of Majnu able to just carry these 2v2 skirmishes. Because as we've seen earlier today, Castle's done a fantastic job of just confirming these games later in the game. Yes, they're gonna go down in the early. That's all fine and dandy. What matters is that they win not the battle but the war, and Castle and his team have been consistently winning that war at the cost of a couple of battles in the early game. So honestly, I'm kind of I believe that TRT has the skill to pull it off, and I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah, I would agree that it's going to be interesting, and I really want to see actually if Death can get himself some hooks. The first game or batch of games that I casted with Death on the roster, good little hooker actually catch by Rue. We might find ourselves with an early kill. That pillar is actually well placed by Majnu. The hook's going to not connect, but flash burned by Death, stepping a little bit too forward, but a good timing there by Majnu for an early gank.
Yeah, Death is a well-known factor in a lot of these draft leagues. It does look as if Majnu is going to get chunked out early, having to burn that flash. Rebecca will land that hook onto the Draven. It looks as if we're going to see an early 2v2 fight that's seemingly going in the favor of Ashe. Draven with the first blood hitting that Q. I'm hoping that, Majnu is able to get the Revengeance skill. And it looks as if they're going to get a double kill on the side of Think on Majnu, which is fantastic for him.
An accelerated Trundle could be a very scary thing in this game. Pillar comes up, gets the bonk. Very big early fight. That might be the earliest sort of and high kill count fight that we've had on the night. We'll fight in the jungle here. Thresh is going to be able to arrive. He might, though. The lantern has been scaled up. Level 3 is a good place to be, and Kappa will not be able to get that counter kill.
Honestly, well played by Rebecca, just being in the right place at the right time, utilizing the lantern. It's always a pleasure to see a teammate use the lantern, so that's always a fantastic thing. Honestly, great, well played by Majnu, just being in the right place at the right time. But yeah, overall, Draven was able to get that first blood. Bubster is set behind a little bit behind. It does seem as if we are going to see Mark Boots force out Castle's flash with a flash of his own. What are your thoughts on the state of the game so far? As I know we're only 4 minutes in, but it already feels like we have a lot of action.
Yeah, Majnu is being super proactive earlier in this game, and I can really appreciate that. The mid lane is very equal, trading out each other right to the edge. The castle there, I think, taking a little bit too much damage from the minions, primed him to be flashed on, and for Mark Boots to try to get that kill. And Mark Boots did not back. Is gonna, I guess, collect this wave, so a little bit of a threatening situation. No, I think it's all kind of even and fair. Right now, that CS difference top side is super scary here. 34 on the side of Striker Jones versus 9 CS collected by Backstreet. He's been able to get the XP, been able to stay close in levels. But this is kind of, you need a better advantage here, I think, for Striker Jones if we're going to actually turn this into a major situation. And the hook is going to land. Counter hook caught up. Oh, and there's been a movement. I don't know how we end up in this position, but that's going to be a dead backshot. I spoke too soon. Foot in my mouth this time.
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't count Dr. Backshots out too soon. We saw something very similar last game. I believe he was down 4 kills, and it was like, what, 40 CS, and obviously, he was able to make that comeback. Orange is a very team-centric champion, and a good ult can turn these fights, so I'm excited to see how he's going to operate, like, then. Once we get to the later stages of the game. But I am expecting Striker Jones to make a very dominant performance early in this game. We do see a Rise ult coming out. Looks as if we're seeing a 4-man bot only 5 minutes in.
Yeah, big dive bot happening right now. No one's really gotten low. OPQ's kind of primed it. B dove on. But they've actually got to be able to get something done here. Knockup's going to be available here. Can he get the charge? Nope, the slow is going to be enough. There's everyone. The whole team's here except for Striker Jones. Draven's going to try to get what he can. Barrier's going to be up once more. This might be an overreach. Oh, no one's going to die. Oh, the thresh is so low, but Sejuani, Pig might be on, ready for the spit roast. Hook's going to miss. And there's going to be the catch, but the pillar might slow it down here. Is the timing? Nope, there's been enough damage. Castle will collect that kill. The rest of TRT will be able to escape the clutches of Anyone Can Cook. And that's a successful dive. Just feels like a super commitment on their side to just go 4 diving bot.
Honestly, I think it was a very fantastic play. A 4-man dive at 5 minutes. I mean, we hate to see it. If you're a fan of Anyone Can Cook, but like securing that early lead when you have that trundle, when you have like these snowbally champs.
We're going to have a knock up, and now we're going to actually have a mid lane. The bot lane has actually rotated. They're going to be able to get the follow-up hook. Very well done here by Death, and that's going to be a second kill given over to this Draven, getting him ahead. And there's going to be a fantastic route. The damage going up, the exhaust doing a lot of good work here, and the Thresh is just battering this Cassiopeia. Castle is going to be in a world of hurt. The trundle has arrived, going to be able to get their third kill. Majnu 3-0-2, doing a fantastic start here in game 3.
Yeah, Majnu's definitely got like he's really accelerated. He's going to be an issue in these like early to mid game skirmishes, especially once he gets ult online. It just effectively means Kappa and Dr. Backshots can't really engage effectively because one ult and you're getting shredded. Like you're losing. It's like what 35% of your armor MR. Now, did you see another kill from Striker Jones? Dr. Backshot's dropping that Horn of the Mountain God, but hopefully Kappa Gaming can get like something from this. That way, he's opting to go for Scuttle instead. Honestly, this is I'm liking the look from Thinker of Think. Do you think that the previous loss kind of reinvigorated them? Like to try and. Like, what do you think?
I think it's really gotten them really ambitious. Oh, might be a bit of a reach here by Mark Boots. He's going to be able to get caught up in between a pillar and hard place here. The Trundle has arrived to try to get something done. It's going to be able to bite chomp down. That's a dead snake lady, and now the pig is ready to be gone. Dr. Backshots is trying to get in here to try to help out, but I think he might be about to feed another kill over. That's both the mid laner and jungler collected here by Striker Jones and Majnu. They're going to try to chase down this Orin. He will flash over, but Striker Jones is going to flash with him. Just needs one more collection, and there will it be 3 auto attacks, and a spell will do that percentage health damage, and that's nothing to shake a stick at. Barry is going to come out trying to get more done, but I really love this positioning by Rebecca. Rue just kind of gets themselves into the middle of the fight and just keeps applying the damage, keeps preventing anyone from running away. And that's such a all-in mindset, and you gotta love that out of your support.
Honestly, she's playing it extremely well. like a really good
She's
showing for her.
0-0-6 right now. Like that is fantastic support work.
Honestly, she's playing support better than the support main. I'm just saying, jungle mains are just on top, man. Jungle mains on top. But hey, jokes aside, fantastic showing from Think Rough Think. They're definitely turning it around. It does suck that it's coming in Game 3 of the series as opposed to Game 2, but let's hope that they can keep up this momentum. I really want to see them maybe pivot their lead into getting an early drag, maybe like able to stack those drags since they have solid scaling in the form of a double AD comp. Like with Thresh as their solo frontline, it's gonna be kind of harder to navigate drag fights later. At least harder as opposed to a more traditional comp like what Cook has. It does look as if Thresh is going to be forced to burn that early flash. And we're looking at Varus just taking tower plates for free. I don't think Ornn has yet to hit his tower.
I think the next wave might actually be the end of this tower, but the Drake will be collected by anyone can cook. So playing for the macro, and this is kind of what's allowed them to win the first 2 games. This is where Striker Jones, he can have this, advantage. He can have kill pressure on this Ornn, but it's just not going to be enough. Oh, it's going to be oh, geez, that's really painful to watch here. That I debate about the Ornn selection for at least being able to manage waves and clear waves, but it was also unclear what Striker Jones was going to be taking in the draft. So I'm kind of little column A, little column B, not really a determining factor. That's going to be a Ash Arrow, and I don't even know. They're going to be able to bring in the Trundle King. Flash away by OPQuid, going to dodge the hook, but that's a fantastic lane gate there by Maj. Now you're going to be able to pick up another kill for himself. And now here comes the auto attack stun. Striker Jones going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Just a little bit more root's going to come through. And now, is there enough damage that can Kappa finish this off? He can. Shutdown gold collected by the jungler. That's going to be a tankier Freljord pig.
We do see yet another 4-man dive on the bot lane. This time it's
Good
Cassio
little
hitting
bit of a push forward, trying to actually get the outplay, and that's going to be a very low. That's going to be a shutdown gold. That's kind of what you want. That's the best you can hope for. That's 2. The Ashe goes down as well. The entire bot lane consumed by, and another hook. That's really nice hook there, Death, but I don't think there's anyone here to help you follow up on it. Great play by Castle. Great play by Castle there on that dive.
Yeah, honestly, Castle's been a superstar this entire series. I understand why he was the first overall draft pick. OpQuid able to pick up a couple of just plates from that mid wave. We see Ashe Thresh transferring over to the mid lane. That way they can get Prio on like maybe an early not early, but like on the next void based objective. Or at least that way they can just get Prio in general for whatever their jungler would want to do. That way if the jungle wants to invade, they can like walk with him. I'm very interested to see how Death's going to operate this game. Generally speaking, I'm not going to lie, I should have said it that way. I don't like Blitzcrank in this comp. I think Nautilus probably would have been better. I understand it's a really good pick tool, but I don't think Blitzcrank is all that amazing. I'm down to see Death has proved me wrong so far in terms of like he has had some amazing hooks, but I do think his scoreline is reflecting that like the lack of tankiness into the Ashe Thresh lane is just hurtful. But like who knows? Maybe I'll be proven wrong, and he'll have another like amazing performance later in the game.
Oh, that's a good hook there right now. The Riot's gonna be forced to flash away. Good health trade there. Death taking the brunt of the damage, so OPQuid can hang around and push this wave on in. They might be going for it. Auto attack's gonna get caught on up here. It's gonna be able to get the silence as well and survive. Death, fantastic prowess there, showing his fluidity on this threat, on this Blitzcrank. One more death there. 0-6-1. This might have actually been the game. 7-1-0 on this Varus. This probably should have been the over-under match to throw in chat for the bet.
Me when Striker Jones plays an evil range top. Ooh.
Evil range top.
Coming out from 620, catching the Thresh. It does seem as if Rebecca will fall, granting a kill over to Kappa Gaming.
Yeah, Rue definitely hooking on to more than they can chew. Gonna be another turret here collected by one more wave, and then he'll have it. But this is still not too great of an advantage across the entire board. Most of the gold advantage is on to this Varus, and there's not really much to kind of be said. The Draven's coming on up here. He can kind of stand toe-to-toe with Striker Jones next in line. There's only a 1.3k gold difference between the two of them, but the health advantage might be enough. This is a very interesting decision, actually, to have an AD carry match this top lane AD carry.
It's definitely interesting. I don't think Ornn can do anything if he were to go top lane, though. As we see, before he hit this top lane, he had 39 CS.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the CS, he was quite literally getting Flame Horizon pre 15 minutes. Now, obviously, that's not... Okay, I can't say it's not entirely his fault. But, like, obviously, it's, like, to be expected when you have a very top-dominant ranged AD carry like Varus, who does really well into these tank matchups.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, as opposed to last game where he was able to get at least a little bit of farm into the match, this time around he's just dying on repeat and not even able to get like farm. He's down, I think it's 2 levels. He's just in pain all around. Hopefully he's able to make up for it later in the game with like some fat ults. That's what I'm expecting from the Frosty Slayer himself. But maybe Andy is putting that title to sorry.
Oh, no.
Maybe he's forcing him to sunset that title as he's Andy's showing why he is the best top in the league.
He is, and this is actually a great recovery game for Andy so far with how this game is going. He's got the on-hit build going, the experimental hex plate, and it doesn't really kind of matter who steps up against him right now. The amount of damage that he can put out with just how that W works, how the percentage health damage comes in. 3 autos and then a Q will pretty much ruin any take stay. Oh, Jesus, already below half health here from Dr. Backshots. Cannot take the shots that are being given to him by Striker Jones here. And that's going to be another root here. It's going to build up just enough for those Void procs. And now Kappa has arrived. And now the ultimate from the Draven. He's going to be able to get the shutdown gold. OP Quid landing it, but this teleport, this is not, oh no, that is not the kind of trip you want to finish. Double kill collected by OP Quid, the Rise. Trying to show up to help his top laner, but that's gonna be a painful decision, a regretful decision being made. The TRT is gonna be able to grab the Herald, and the best that anyone can cook is gonna be able to do is collect those 2 kills, but then push this bot wave in. Let's see if OP Quick can actually get any plates or even get the turret down. That would be the ideal sense right at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Think of Things obviously been playing really well this game. Trundle is 7-0. Striker Jones is 8-2 on the Varus. His only 2 deaths have been when because of outside interference, whether it's Kappa Gaming ganking him in top lane or just a 4-man bot 15 minutes in. Overall, they've been playing exceptionally well. The only scary thing on the side of anyone can cook right now is that Draven. Now Draven can snowball out of control. Even he already has 2 items. He's about to get his 3rd. He has boots online. But Varus is by far the strongest thing in this game. He has a 5.5 thousand gold deficit, and it's not
Another
even close.
Glacial Prison here. Rebecca about to be caught out here. The hook is going to land here. It's going to be another kill collected for Opikid. 6-3-2. He's cashed in so many times. I do not believe, I would ask it, but is there any way production can actually show us? We can see at least the maximum gold. He is at 10k gold 17 minutes into the game. This Draven is accelerated, and it's now on to anyone can cook. They have to press this lead. They have to press what this Draven has to kind of really expand the gold lead across the rest of the team.
Yeah, we do see that they're starting to head topside in order to maybe pick off this Varus. Trundle is hovering, but it does look as if we're having a skirmish in the jungle as top is fighting. Yeah,
there's a bit of a scuffle there happening. Majin's going to be able to flash away. Dr. Backshots will go down again, 0-9-1. So having a way worse time than he did last time. I debate what would have been a good first item for him. He's gotten the Sunflower Cape to maybe try to clear the wave a hair faster. You pointed out last game where the Frozen Heart might have been a good item on the Rammus to go against the Yi. I always appreciate Frozen Heart when there is a very attack speed dependent champion on the Rift. It's the only item in the game that actually slows attack speed these days, and it's sometimes unfortunate that you're playing a character or a tank that doesn't use mana as a stat, but I still very much value Frozen Heart, especially in a situation like this where just slowing down Striker Jones' auto attacks might actually be the difference maker to let you survive that much longer.
Yeah, especially when like later in the game when you're like your entire team is going to be counting on your ult as a team-wide engage. I fear that Mark Boots just cancels his own ult by walking into a Cassiopeia W.
Yep, but there's a whole spread of problems here right now. Striker Jones has arrived, and now the flash is going to come out. Kappa Gaming going to try to run away, but I don't think you're going to get much further. Double kill for Striker Jones on this Varus. And now another catch. Arrow is going to come out under turret. The turret damage will not hit, but the hook will. Oh, and that's not... Oh, that is pain days. The exhaust once again coming in. And now the Varus is here going to be knocked up, but there's not any axes floating around here. Striker Jones roaming from bottom to top. He's going to collect himself another double kill here. He is 13-2-1. He is level 15. He has probably now the most gold in the game. Definitely the highest amount of XP. The next closest on his team is going to be Maj. Actually, it's the gold here. So, yeah, back in the leader, 12.5k gold. Can I get the XP up, actually, if you don't mind, production? There we go. He is 2 levels above his own, so he's 2 levels above another mid laner. Castle is behind him on levels. That's how far ahead Striker Jones has gotten, just abusing the enemy team with this Varus pick. We haven't seen a full 5v5 fight yet. That would be the one area where I would expect the TRT comp to fall short. And we might actually see something now. And for Striker Jones to not have the kind of agency and the ability to impact the fights and impact the situation like he may want to. But Dragon's going to be picked up.
Striker Jones TP coming in. We're looking at our potential first whole team fight. Striker Jones is hit by Blitzcrank Cook, having to force to go yellow.
But he's allowed to actually keep going, and he's going to be able to start laying it down here. Now the front line's just melting here. Legendary has been acquired here. Majnu is going to be able to run on in, and Striker Jones is just leading the way. I'm sorry, OP Quid. I'm sorry, Castle. You're going to have to run for your lives here. He's going to be able to flash away. Verisalt not connecting as always, but they are running in the wrong direction. They are running into enemy territory. The teleport's going to come out, or they're going to be able to actually stop him. Pillar not available. OP Quid gonna try to get what he can. Might get the execution. Gets the shutdown gold onto Majnu. It's a good little bit of a collection. Castle teleports top lane to try to maintain some pressure on the map. But they have pinged for Baron? I think that was... Alrighty.
I mean,
massive fight.
Definitely it is. They could go Baron here. I think it's a bit risky with Majnu being down and all. But they do have excellent Baron confirm in the form of RSQ. Plus passive, and they have double 80 carry, so they take it fast. I don't think they're gonna go Baron, considering bot or Ashe is still bot side, and or Ashe Varus is still bot side, and Sejuani is up. But we do see them like just stripping the entire jungle. Sejuani is just kind of homeless right now, as she's seeing her blue buff being taken by the Chad Varus. We see Varus on 3 items, almost 4. Do you think, like, if you were anyone can cook, what are you looking for in order to get back into this game?
Kind of looking for an engage like that. The Lanter's actually going to save Bubster, so very good use here. Rebecca doing very good on this Thresh tonight. I really appreciate the positioning, the hook connections, a few of these Lantern moments, just identifying where the threat is, where the best position that they can be. Oh, Blitzcrank, you have gotten yourself way too far. The pillar will set him up, but the arrow will confirm him, and that damage is real. Striker Jones has gone legendary, level 16. The teleport in from Dr. Backshot's not advisable, but will get away. And now Baron's going to get started by this double 80 carry comp, and I'm waiting for this thing to disappear.
Yeah, they're taking it so fast. There's no chance for anyone can cook to really contest. Not with Smite being up plus Varus Q, it's going to be really hard. Think is now at almost an 8k deficit. What do you think? What do you think they're going to be like looking for in order to push this lead even further? Like, obviously they don't have, like, with Opquid being on the field as the only real threat. Never mind, he just died. Like with Bubster being able to like start these like long range engages, plus Majnu and Striker Jones being very lethal in these fights. What are you thinking they're going to be looking for next?
They have the Baron in play that would usually demand that they would actually push all 3 lanes and really put the entire map into their control. The picks that they were allowed to get in the last 30 seconds are super regrettable for anyone can cook. So at this point, I think looks like they're pushing up mid wave. There's not another really. There's 2 minutes till Ocean Drake. If they can actually get these waves pushing, Ryze is heading for top lane, Varus is in the bot lane, uncontested. If they can actually get these waves pushed up and really start getting anyone can cook turtle further and further onto their side of the map, that would set them up to be able to grab their 3rd Drake. And I think that should be the main focus for them for the next minute and a half.
I agree. I'm looking for a Thinkref thing to kind of try to close out this game soon. Like, yes, this Ornn is effectively out of this game, but let's not forget that he's trying to get Ornn items online. And Cassiopeia loves being in the late game. An Ornn item, Cassiopeia, is something to be afraid of, especially with the relatively low range of Thinkref outside of the Varus Q for poke. Cassiopeia is going to be lethal in this fight, especially with Castle piloting her. We do see the Sejuani ult coming down onto the Varus.
Yeah, Glacier Fish is going to land. The knockup's going to come through, but there's no more damage really arriving just yet. He's going to go gold here, but Striker Jones is going to caught right at the right time. Shutdown gold acquired, and OPQ going through here. Fantastic ultimate out of Castle to lock down Striker Jones, and they just got jumped. They got jumped hard and fast. Not allowed to retreat, not allowed to run away, and didn't even get the turret.
Yeah, I mean, that was excellent CC chaining by both Death, Kappa, and Castle. The Kappa Gaming ultimate, even though Striker Jones was forced to, Zonya's that, into the Blitzcrank knockup, into the Cassio ult, was really, allowing them to confirm that kill. I do think Striker Jones is dead there no matter what, especially with all 4 there. But I'm very happy to see that they're looking for these angles in order to get back into the game. What was once an 8k gold lead is now only a 6.5, which, I mean, it's something. They're getting back up. They're clawing their way back in. They've done it previous games. I'm hoping to see them do it again.
Yeah, I think they are on their way. I'm just very confused about what their decision is right there to back right as the dragon is about to spawn. This is going to give TRT plenty of ability to start coming over and taking over this bot river. I don't know why the Sejuani's top. I feel like they're not even tracking their timers right now, or they've just decided to give up, the 3rd Drake. It's going to be they're going to be on soul point here for TRT. This feels very strange on the side of anyone can cook. Flashes are available, ults are available. This feels like an absolute oversight. It's 2.5 minutes till the Baron's up. This just doesn't feel like an acceptable macro decision on the side of anyone can cook.
Anyone Can Cook is looking to overload the top side of the map, which, I mean, considering that they're not going to contest drag, is probably their best bet. It does look as if Blitzcrank will fall early, as will Thresh. Ashe and Varus are just a lot of free hits. It looks as if they're going to get collapsed on.
Yep, that's a 2 for 1. The Realm Warp's going to come on in. Ryze is going to be able to survive right now. The Seraphim's shield really helping out the chain damage, and Draven trying to get in, trying to find a pick, but they're just too healthy. They're too prepared and can't really be done. Teleport out from the Cassiopeia. Castle will escape that bonanza in the jungle, but the rest of his team's dead.
Yeah, the second time we see Castle opting to use TP just to escape certain death. Honestly, I can see it. Like, he's trying to maintain, because if he goes down, they're likely to lose inhib because of no wave clear. Honestly, I'm hoping to see them look for some sort of pick, especially with that Blitzcrank. It's why I don't really like it. If you get behind his Blitzcrank, outside of maybe a rogue pool, I don't feel like you're gonna do a whole lot. I feel like a tankier champion like maybe Nautilus, Leona, with someone with a bit more certain guaranteed lockdown would have been amazing this game. Mm-hmm. But I'm hoping Death can navigate it and hopefully help his team claw their way back in.
Yeah, that's got to be able to find the best way to disrupt this Varus primarily. We have yet to get to a place where this Ashe is doing significant damage. 3 items deep, so doing very well. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. Is that? Am I miscounting that? That's boots. So that's 5. Yeah. So this Varus is full build right now. He will not get any stronger outside of some elixirs. And so at this point, we know what the threat is. We know what can be done. And now it's a question of, can they be hooked, silenced, knocked up, anything like that, petrifying gaze. Something to remove this Varus from the next fighter, from the skirmish, is going to be the main priority here for Anyone Can Cook if they want to get themselves a clean 3-0 on the night.
Something to note, we do see Ornn items start like coming in as well. We have the Ornn upgraded Infinity Edge on the Draven, Ornn upgraded Seraph's Embrace on the Cassiopeia. Very like significant power spikes considering like how late it is in the game. If the game goes on much longer, as you said, Varus is not going to get a lot stronger. If Anyone Can Cook is able to stall the game, they might be able to like hold out long enough for his team to make a comeback, but it does look as if they're going to take Baron on spawn. I'm not sure if Anyone Can Cook is able to respond, though.
Nope.
Yeah, they're going to give.
That's second Baron over to Think Rev. Think they are positioning themselves very well to actually get a win here, and that's going to be a hook here. Oh no, Striker, you were trying to retreat in a normal fashion, but Death came to visit and was happy to oblige. Castle's going to be able to take out Rebecca, and now the mid-wave push is here. You might have Baron, but we've got ourselves a hooker. Death delivering his namesake. That's 3 hooks. That's 3 separate engages, and I would push the push. I would push the end. This could actually be it here right now. They've got the damage, they've got the auto attacks, they've got the positioning. It's going to be 30 seconds until the Varus gets up, and I don't think they've got the wave clear to clear this out. It's just a Trundle, it's just an Ashe. Flash away by Majnu. These hooks are threatening, these hooks are dangerous. It's going to be an inhib. Pillar's going to come. Going to be a little bit of a knock-up here, and there's going to be pushing through. It's going to be able to blow up the Ashe. Anyone Can Cook, they're going to grab the 3-0 tonight. They are looking to actually get themselves a clean sweep. The Thresh is up. Varus is up in 5 seconds here. Have they overstayed? I don't think they have. The Draven is up and alive. Second Nexus turret is down. The Nexus is exposed here. Striker Jones is going to get in. He's going to try to jump onto the Draven. He's going to be able to take him out, but the rest of the team is hitting the Nexus. Can he hold him out? He will go down. The Cassiopeia holds their ground. Anyone Can Cook maintains a perfect evening. 3-0. Striker Jones embarrassed again. Dr. Back shots 2-0 on the night against the best top laner in the league. The salty run back has been thwarted, and Anyone Can Cook take the win.
Honestly, like Salty Jones or any. Snap. Striker Jones decided like played extremely well. I'm not gonna say that like it was just a top gap. Obviously there was some late game issues in terms of positioning that kind of led to the loss. But on like I'll hand it to Anyone Can Cook. It looked very bleak, but the one opportunity they saw, they fucking slammed on the pedal and like throttled to oblivion. They did a fantastic job of finding that that one angle they needed to win and abusing it. As you look in the goal chart, Think had a very dominant like game all until the 30-minute mark where Striker Jones got picked, and because he was their entire team's gold value, they all just folded quickly after. Overall, I think it was a fantastic showing from Anyone Can Cook. I do think has a lot of potential. They just had a couple of blunders tonight, and obviously I think they know that, and they're gonna look to review. What are your thoughts, though? Like, what are your thoughts on the teams?
I think there's a lot of opportunity for this to be a much closer series. It was a closer series than you might have expected. The first game, or any of the counters that happened where the top lane was super dominant over the other, particularly obviously with Striker Jones versus Dr. Backshots, it never really actually manifested in a win. And so we can see at the gold graph here where the damage dealt to champions is entirely on the side of Think for this Varus. Did fantastic work, but the Draven was able to just be surrounded, protected, and able to go off and just ruin Think's day. Even in that sequence there in the mid lane where they were able to walk away, they'd just gotten the Baron, but they just did not retreat in a tactful manner, and Death just clutch. I'd be giving the MVP to the Blitzcrank, because that series of hooks that caught the Varus, that caught the Rise, even then caught the Ashe in the base, it secured the rest of the game. It allowed them to just bum rush the base and take the win. And you can't replace good CC.
Yeah, whether it was a draft issue or just a execution issue, I do think that Anyone Can Cook just played extremely well tonight. I'm excited to see this rematch happen in playoffs. These are two teams I'm expecting to go extremely far. overall, it was just a fantastic game to cast and just watch. I expect next time we see them, we see different strategies come out. Majnu, obviously showing that he's not afraid to just pick out new things and just start play new things and do well in them.
Yeah,
And
he
then
more or
backups
less
will-
first time to Ivern tonight. Yeah, he more or less first time to Ivern tonight. So props to him.
Again, I'm very excited to see where these teams go. In your opinion, if you had to state an MVP for tonight, what are you saying? Like who's?
I would. Oh, I want to give it to Dr. Backshots for kind of holding down and feeding just enough to give Striker Jones the confidence to try to carry the game, but then falls apart at the end. So I do want to give that respect over to Dr. Backshots being one of the lower rated players in the league and doing their level best. And even though feeding super hard into Striker Jones, it never really manifested in a win. So I would say, let me look at actually the full wrap here. I actually would say I want to give it to OP Quid for being there for all 3 games, putting out great damage, great numbers, and being super consistent through it all. And that, I would say that'd probably be like my safe bet of OP Quid getting the MVP on the night and just being a great AD carry. You could see it here definitely tonight, and especially on game 2 on the Lucian, just making sure that Striker Jones just couldn't get anything done. So, yeah, and there we go again. So, I got to give it to OP Quid. I would say for at least this distinct direct contribution to what made Think Rev think, or made Anyone Can Cook win tonight. I would give it to OP Quid.
I'd have to agree. Op Quid was a very consistent player tonight. While yes, Castle was a very dominant force on the field. Op Quid, like even when things were looking bleak, he was still a very consistent and ahead team member. Like looking at tonight, or even at the last game, Op Quid was the reason they more or less won the game. While Castle wasn't doing terribly, he wasn't the driving force in these. Like he wasn't the winning force in these team fights. It was Op Quid on that Draven. Less conventional pick. I know for a fact some of his team members were actually doubting it, but I'm very glad we got to see it because it was very fantastic. Like it was a show to watch. He was the showstopper, at least for that game. It was either Op Quid or I gotta give it to my homeboy Dr. Backshots. He's the Andy Slayer. What can I say? The GOAT that goes 39 CS in 15 minutes and still wins the game. I don't know.
And I will actually give the good news here, looking at just how many. So there is I believe it's a maximum. Is it a maximum or a minimum of 14 games inside of the season?
I believe it is a minimum of 14 games, a maximum of 16. I'd have to go check on that, though.
Awesome. Well, that actually sets it up very well here because at this point, OP Quid has only played 9 games, at least before today started. Let me actually refresh this. So that's 11 games. So right now, OP Quid, Tier 1 player, fantastic AD carry, still has several games to give as we kind of get through the is it a Swiss or round robin sort of set of games? Swiss game? Thank you. As we get through the Swiss through here before we get to playoffs. So OP Quid, super serviceable, had a great game tonight, gets my MVP for Dr. Backshot's fantastic notable piece there. Embarrassing Striker Jones, you might be able to beat up our top laner, but we'll beat your team, is what Anyone Can Cook says tonight, and I believe Kappa will enjoy that as well as with some brisket on the evening. I believe that'll actually round us out for tonight. Rev, thank you for coming on in here to cast with me. It was a pleasure.
It was fantastic to be here. I loved it. Hopefully I'll be here in the future. Overall, fantastic games from everyone, and I believe that's all we have, folks. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next week.